Oh,
You just wanted to make that noise again.
oh. I've been having fun making this noise. Oh,
Oh,
I dropped shit. I'm Pat.
you got
Oh.
Andy's got his make at home misfit shirt. He's got
What?
your luchador misfit shirt.
No, this is my lifting shirt, dude. This is the shirt I lift weights in. This is the shirt that on Sunday mornings I go to the gym, I lift weights, and then I just stare at my phone for 5 minutes listening to heavy music and brood in the corner.
You
It's
think you're special?
literally a perfect life, dude. You go to a gym where everyone's super nice and you just sit in the corner and you pretend like life's so hard and you're like, God, I'm just so tormented inside. And everyone looks at you and goes, hey, Andy, how you doing today? And you're like, oh, I'm so fucking tormented inside.
Wonderful. How was your weekend?
Everyone's
No,
so
I-
nice to me. It's starting to feel like my problems are my fault.
You think you're so special, Andy? I lift my shirts too. How do you think we all get them on? Idiot.
You goddamn rascal.
One arm at a time, just like everybody else.
No, I realize that, dude. I love putting on my heavy music and sitting in the corner and being like, life's so fucking hard, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so tormented inside. Nah, dude, I've been watching I watched a little bit of There Will Be Blood last night.
Mhm.
And I was just watching the beginning of it, Daniel Day-Lewis looking for oil, and I'm like, damn, he's got it good. And then you watch True Detective, and they interview Matthew McConaughey, and he's all fucked up drinking beers, telling you about the case that ruined his life, and you're like, and then he's like, I work in a bar. He's like, I work in a bar 4 days a week, and then when I'm not working, I'm drinking. And I'm like, I literally don't understand how life could be better than that.
Yeah, I don't understand how he like the idea of like it's almost like the same idea of when like the Joker, like the what's his name? Not Heath Ledger, the other one, Jared Leto Joker, where he had all the like we've talked about this before, but all like the psychopath that still has like awesome tattoo work. You know what I mean? Like they had to go to a tattoo place, pay a tattoo artist, sit in a chair still for 3 hours. Take care of it because it's done. It's in good shape. You have to take care of tattoos. He can't just go running amok about the streets, messing up all that work afterwards if it doesn't heal properly. So it's just like he maintained really nice tattoo work. He's not that crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't be that crazy. Show me a guy that has like these scabs that he picked at or something like that. It's the same idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This. Like, aren't those just the greatest beers you've ever seen?
Right. Yeah. And he starts to make little figurines out of it and shit like that. This is just a small businessman in Ohio. You know what I mean?
Dude, I just want to be that guy, just fucking working at a shitty tiki bar in the fucking back, just being like, where did it all go wrong?
They don't make me cut my hair here, so it's pretty sweet.
Being like,
got a pretty sweet deal here. I get all the beer I can drink.
I tried to fix the world, but the world didn't want to be fixed. I had all the answers, and I was ready to do my part, but I offered the world myself on a silver platter, and the world said, no, thank you, I'm full. Yeah. So you don't deserve me. Dude, I just want to be everyone else is in the corner like, we don't know you, man.
Yeah, the funny thing about Matthew McConaughey's character in what is it called again?
True Detective
is the fact that is if you go to any gas station in Pinellas County, Florida, that person will approach you with the figurine already made and go like, I'll sell you this for $20. I just need enough money for the bus ride to get back to Tampa. My family is with the car right now. And it's just like, okay. Yeah, time in the flat circle. I get it. Right.
I did some research on WebMD and the MayoClinic.gov, and I just found out I am not actually tormented. I have undiagnosed autism.
Yeah,
that is why the world does not make sense to me. I am autistic.
Alcohol makes it worse.
Turns out alcohol and cigarettes is a very poor coping mechanism for the pain that is inside of me.
Yeah, that guy just fucking crushes stimulants and beer and just fucking it's just like oxycodone. Like that scene with what was it, the one episode where he's just running through that fucking ghetto and just punching the shit out of every house and he's just like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Where he
he's
goes,
just got like a shotgun or something.
yeah, and he's just like
I'm
blowing through it.
rewatching. I'm rewatching season 1. I haven't gotten to that yet.
I'm telling you, man, it's like that episode, like action wise, like I don't think necessarily I could necessarily accomplish most of those moves. I'm just saying, as far as like how his mind is working, I'm like, he's in the zone right now. Like I was like, damn, he's in the zone right now, and that is pure autism because
Now,
he's just focused on survival. He's just like, huh, God, because
I'll
it's
be
not like official training or anything like that. He's just blasting through this tenement.
I'll be real. Could I disrupt a neighborhood of black people's evening? Absolutely. Could I do it that? Could I do it that way with that intensity? I'm not.
Is there a
quite
backyard
sure.
comedy show? Sure, I could upset a lot of black people all at once. Not injure them. I couldn't necessarily. I could stun them with words, and then eventually maybe get out of there. I could probably escape, but
Yeah, there's just I hate to repeat myself. There's just nothing I love better than I'm so fucking tormented inside. God damn it.
Yeah, and like, but also still holding down a Monday. Like where you can find him. It's like, well, you're just a reliable person. You're still a cop.
Yeah. No, I've been crushing the police shows. I do have this. There is this part of me that's like, dude, I'd love to be a fucking like citizen detective or some shit like that, dude. That shit would be tight.
A citizen detective. What does that mean? What is it? Like you mean like a deputy or like a?
Well, I don't know, dude. The way I've been noticing the way police work works, it would just hold me back too much, dude. It's a lot of fucking red tape and paperwork. I just don't operate that way. I'd need to function in a way that keeps me fucking loose and free and being able to just do my damn thing. So I'd probably have to do it some way to sort of subvert the system.
You would join the force solely for the purpose of becoming a loose cannon.
1000%.
Like you would be like, Andy, a loose cannon. Sergeant Andy, reporting for duty. Ah, damn it.
Yeah, they'd be. Oh my
Private
God,
Andy. Loose cannon.
Oh my God, I'd be like, dude, I'd be showing up in the fucking boss's office, and then they'd have like a rule book in their hands, and I would just be like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They would be like, Andy, congratulations, you've graduated. Here's your gun and badge. Now turn in your gun and badge, you piece of shit. As soon as they give it to you, give it back. Put it back in the drawer, top drawer, right hand.
The second I get it,
you're on paid leave, Andy. Malafarina in my office.
I'm in your office, boss.
Dude, that's a funny.
That's where you gave me the gun and badge. Go give it back to me.
You remember where I gave it to you? Yeah, we're still there. Okay, put it back.
You can remember the drawer you took it out of. Go put it back in that drawer. Oh fuck, we have so much fun stuff to talk about today.
Sorry, I'm writing down loose cannon cadet sketch.
No.
I'm writing that down.
No, we have so much fun stuff to talk about today. I'm just going through some of the things in the past. There were some funny stuff. There's some good merch. Oh, that's right. That was the big one that I wanted to talk about. Okay, I want to go over music from this week, but I really wanted to talk about we were texting about. Did I text you about Anthony Fantano?
I feel like you must have, but it might have been we were going back and forth pretty furious for a while.
Yeah, we were saying a lot of just for text.
Lots of just for text stuff.
That's how it works from time to time. Sometimes the words just stay in the text messages. But
the insults, they meant nothing. They were pointed at nobody, but they were just so hate-filled and hilarious.
Oh, I do want to remind people, I just finished up my Dance Gavin Dance series. I did the all albums ranked and top 10 songs with a few honorable mentions in there for good measure. God damn it, I tweet a lot. That's
what I was saying when you said, like, hey, did I send you something? I'm like, I don't know. We called each other the F word a lot. I mean, for like a whole day, almost back and forth.
We spend a lot of time calling each other the bad F word, so it's really hard to keep track of that. But no, I had there's a bunch of little stuff, but there was like the main meat of the story I wanted to talk about was that Anthony Fantano situation in reference to the Kanye album. But before we get into that, just a reminder, Dance Gavin Dance album ranking is up, and the top 10 songs and a good amount of honorable mentions. It's up there. Go check it the fuck out. It's real good. Stop giggling at me, dude. God
No,
damn it. This is why I'm tormented.
No,
Ah,
Tonye.
shit.
Look what Tonye wrote. I was laughing at Tonye.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Sorry,
that's
dude.
the F word we were talking about.
Sorry, dude. I thought you were reinforcing my tormented nature.
No. You're not that tormented. You
I'm
just
so
like
fucking
drinking
tormented.
beer in a corner.
What
Stop.
are you talking about, Pat? I lift weights in the corner and ignore people. I'm so fucking tormented.
Honestly, though, you should bring like a 6-pack of Miller Lite one time to the gym and just be like, and somebody comes over and be like, Andy, what's going on here? I'm tormented.
God damn it, my life has been hard. Well, not like that hard, but God, it'd be so cool if it was hard.
Somebody took my parking space at my house.
Oh, but you don't understand. When I feel things, I feel it so much harder than you because I'm so fucking tormented.
It's so much deeper. You guys don't understand what depression is.
I'm able to understand things on such a more poetic level. That things that are just normally annoying to you are really annoying to me. I'm so fucking deep and locked in on this shit.
You don't get it.
You don't fucking get it. I'm so fucking tormented.
Oh, you wouldn't understand. They do that.
I don't understand. God damn it. There Will Be Blood, No Country for Old Men, and
Wait.
American Psycho are all me at the same goddamn time.
Wait, what? I don't get the connection with the There Will Be Blood. Is it just because there's a skinny, dirty
It's
guy?
Daniel Day-Lewis. Whenever he does shit, dude, it's Daniel Day-Lewis time.
It's full force. He goes all in with.
Oh, he's so fucking
I'm
good,
Abraham
dude.
Lincoln, and this is how I talk to
Daniel Day-Lewis. No, I think that was the other guy, Batman. No, the Joker. Who played the Joker?
Daniel Day-Lewis. He did Lincoln.
In Lincoln?
Yeah, he was the titular Lincoln.
My fault. This is gonna aid to my tormentedness. I'm so mad at myself for messing
No problem.
up.
Hey, no problem. I know how twisted you are.
I'm twisted.
You're tormented. You're twisted. I know how it is. I understand. I don't understand. Obviously, I could never understand.
You could never know what it's like to be sad and drink 6 beers.
You have any idea what it's like to deal with trauma? Yes. Yes.
Do you know what it's like to watch the Iron Claw and take on their emotions like they're yours?
Yeah. Meet somebody and then take on all of their stuff and go like, well, yeah, but how does that affect me?
Do you know what it's like to watch a movie and decide this is my personality now?
That's Matthew McConaughey. Now you're just doing Matthew McConaughey.
Now Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. Like you're not Matthew McConaughey, True Detective. You are just him. And then that was meta. I don't know how you did it, Andy, but you just stumbled on meta. So, Andy, what's next on the docket as far as the album reviews? Is that it? You're just done with album reviews now, or?
Oh yeah, I mean, I heard I might be doing something with this fucking dude afterwards, but it's whatever. No,
Matthew McConaughey.
It's gonna be so fucking. Sorry, dude, I'm out of it.
You said you had to get the coffee right before this.
I'm going hard. Yeah, I've been going hard this week, eating like a sack of shit, being so fucking ugly, dude. All those at the same time.
Yeah.
Being tormented. But
twist.
Looking at this bug crawling down my wall. God damn it. No, so we're moving on. We finished up Dance. I finished up Dance Gavin Dance, and I was like, damn, that was good. Wouldn't it be better if there were 2 retarded guys? So I'm bringing in the heavy hitter himself, Pat George, and we are going to be going through Every Time I Die's discography and doing the same damn thing with that.
Oh, yeah.
And on top of that, I think I'm going to try, if I have time, to squeeze in a few more current album reactions and shit, if there is the time and shit like that, because I have been noticing that's where we've been cooking and firing on all cylinders there.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's what the people want. So why not give the people what they fucking want? So
I'm here at your disposal if you need me for any of them, Andy.
I've been telling you many a time, do no FX. Review all 97 of those albums.
And you told me how we were going to figure out the whole production issue, and then you said, I'll tell you after the show, and then after the show, you're like, see ya, bitch. And you shot me with a gun.
Didn't I have to do it? Didn't I have to do a big PP?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
PP wait, what was the logistics we had?
You said something about OSX?
Oh, that was just
SDX, was it?
Oh, that was just recording software you could use. OBX.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, no, it's not. But it's just
Damn it, you got me. Fuck, how'd you know that? Fuck. You're right. That's not what I said. Damn.
You're
On it. You said you weren't on it, but you're. I think you're on it, my friend.
You're a slick trickster today, Patrick. But I got your ass.
I'm a regular jester over here. But yeah, I'll do NoFX all by myself, and you can probably just suck a dick if you wanted to.
Oh, dude, that's so funny. Doing the Now That's What I Call Music series.
Oh man,
that might get
Jock
us
Jams. Oh,
Jock Jams would be sick. Now That's What I Call Music might get us fucked up just because like I want to stay towards bands that aren't on major labels because I've noticed and some of them outside of major labels like fucking August Burns Red is always really annoying. That whenever I would do reaction videos for them,
yeah,
the videos would get blocked right away. There was another one. I think Job for a Cowboy was the one where when I was streaming the new music from Friday streams live, I remember Job for a Cowboy was the last straw. That's when the whole stream got taken down and the channel got a little bit of a strike. But yeah, look out for those.
Got a strike for that. I know that they shut down the stream and like they were like, "Hey, where'd you guys go?" And then we were like, "Oh fuck, that was because of Job for a Cowboy." You know what I mean? Like
it wasn't.
No offense to them, but like I don't mean to say
Let me. I apologize for being a big old jerk, but let me cut you off there because it wasn't for Job for a Cowboy, but Job for a Cowboy was like almost the last straw just because of how it works when it's live. Of like you need to address this right away, but like you don't. The notification system isn't set up for me to like see it right away, so I kept missing them. And then I think when I got to Job for a Cowboy, they were finally like, "Are you really just gonna ignore us?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Whatever, dude." But yeah, I got the community strike on that. I feel like it stays. Oh yeah, they reject them. How long does it stay on there for? Probably a year, I think. I think when you get a strike on your channel, they stay for a whole fucking year.
What a fucking bunch of dickheads.
But I mean,
to put it lightly, I don't mean to, but fucking bunch of dickheads.
Fucking
damn. All of
pussies.
All of you, a bunch of dickheads. We're playing your music, I mean, it's free anyway. Just shut up.
Ooh. We could do Boner Jams 03.
I want to start with one. If we're gonna do that, we got to start with one. Because I don't want to get to 3 and then be like, how do we get here?
Yeah, I want to know I want to know the creative.
Right. What's the arc? What's the arc of Boner Jams?
Yeah, the creative inspiration that got us to Boner Jams 3.
I would shoot you an arc of Jism right now if I was there with you, Andy.
I know you would. You didn't have to say that.
So I will start. So do you want me to start from the?
Oh yeah. So we're gonna talk.
That's a lot of NoFX albums, by the way.
Oh well, actually no. That's why I made that joke right now because I go, oh wait, I might be sentencing Pat to a awful hell because NoFX, while being a great band, is not known for like their sound doesn't shift too.
but it does actually. And I was gonna actually say I'm actually gonna correct myself and say there actually is a lot. I don't love early NoFX, but I can. The beauty of NoFX is they have never completed a full studio album, like just regular LP essentially, that is over 30 minutes. They've all been like 30 minutes or less.
Really?
Yep, every single one. So it's not going to be they won't have to be super long shows. My analysis is what's going to like bog anything down. So if I'm like, I don't really like, if I start it by saying, hey, I don't really love this album, but hey, let's listen to it, because either way, there's still stories or like stuff in it that I appreciate, or stuff that I would have a connection to. Yeah. That I feel like at least other, like you said, I hope that it gets the same reaction that the Dance Gavin Dance videos have gotten, because all of them are getting really good views and everything like that, and really good like feedback. Mm-hmm. It's just the fact that NoFX fans, you know what I mean? Like I fear I fear the wrath of people going like, what are you fucking talking about, kind of shit. But Andy, you put yourself out there and you're willing to do it, to die on that sword. I know enough about NoFX that I feel confident that I could do a to Z. It's just going to be a long series. Maybe I'll try to shoot 3 or 4 at a time.
Well, that's also to the big benefit of being a fan of it, and not, because I remember we were talking about it, And I was like, you know what? Out of the gate, let's stay away from bands that we don't necessarily like, because people get, and this is actually a thing. This correlates to, we've talked about before, why I'm always, while I love a bunch of political bands, I'm almost like, be wary of how you venture into talking like politics and shit like that, because like there are obviously bands. I always love to bring up Anti-Flag, and they have that one song where they go, depleted uranium's a war crime, and it's like the most direct political message I've ever heard in a song.
Yeah.
And short of actually, and then there's the other band, Backwards, that I love to listen to, and they literally have a line where they start off telling you to read a specific book, but it's just, you can do it in a certain type of way where it can hit, but a lot of times it won't hit. And that's why, because like music appeals to your emotions more so than just like, let me break down this logical political argument.
Yeah.
Shit like that. So it's why all the time it's like, when you go on the political topic, you almost want to be aggressively direct or wax poetic about it. And but yeah, because going back to what the original thing, like music is so much associated with people's emotions that I would almost want to wait till we built up a big audience to really tackle the shit we fucking hate, because it's like, dude, you could give such a long disclaimer. If you're saying bad things about the person people like, they could just go fucking ham on that shit. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we want to deal with that shit out of the gate or whatever the fuck, because you got like a fucking, because some artist fans mobilize like ISIS.
Yeah. Well, Tony's got a pretty good point here in the comments. The NoFX would be dope, you being a fan, but I think it'd be interesting to see you dive into a band you enjoy but are less familiar, like how you enjoy Mutoid Man. I could do Mutoid Man. I think has
Mutoid Man might
be fun. 4 albums, and I would, I think that would be actually that might be a better jumping off point, and also specifically requested by Tony. And since we got you off of the Enter Shikari thing to do the Every Time I Die thing, I think we owe it to him that I think I'll start with Mutoid Man to get me warmed up for NoFX.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Speaking of music, I was listening to, because I was contemplating if I have time doing a video about this band, but I've been texting you about this, dude. Idols just put out a new album, and it's funny, like, I was busting your balls about bringing them up before, but now I'm like, let's only talk about that.
Right, yeah, dude.
Something clicked with, you know what it was actually specifically? I've heard a bunch of their stuff. It's really good. Like when we watched the Tiny Desk, that was really good. I would say their live performance is oftentimes more enticing than the actual studio recordings. Yeah. And I was watching a bunch of their live stuff, and they were just on Fallon recently. And there was like this cool little thing that he did where I forgot about this, but when they were on Fallon, it was on Jay Dilla, who's like a famous hip hop producer. It was on Jay Dilla's birthday. And during their song Gift Horse, Gift Horse or Gifted Horse, whatever it is.
Gift Horse. Yeah, because it's from the saying, don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah. So he has the line where, like, it's a cool moment where all the music drops out and it's just the drums. And then he does like a whole spiel, and then it cuts out again, and he says, what does he say? Fuck the king. He ain't the king. She the king. But he's on Fallon, so he can't just scream fuck the king.
Yeah.
So it pauses, and he goes, he ain't the king. Jay Dilla's the king. And he's got that like gruff English accent.
Dilla.
Jay Dilla's the king.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not just like Jay Dilla's the king. It's that like yelling gruff nature to him.
Yeah,
where he goes, Jay Dilla's the king.
So my favorite thing, this album cemented it. I am an Idols fan.
Oh wait, sorry. Last thing before you go into that, just start that car and just get ready to take off.
It's warming up right now, baby.
That's you. The last thing I was gonna say is like just after that, it was, and this is why like bands, I think just need to be their pure, honest self, because it's like, dude, you could be going at it and people could be not getting it, but there could just be that one moment for whatever reason that you just do a certain type of thing and it just locks into place for someone. And for me, I can't explain exactly why, but when I saw him in that, when I like saw them in that moment and he hits the Jay Dilla is the king and you see this like raw emotion in his face and stuff, it just like locked in. And I was just like, I can't put it in words, but I get these guys now. And I've just been like hooked on them ever since that fucking moment.
Yeah. It's definitely their live performance, because that Tiny Desk that I brought up was like a hit from, again, like we had discussed at the time, like years before that, but was like the recording of it is great. It's a Never Fight a Man with a Perm is the name of the song. And like, but the live version of it, because of his, I mean, all the whole band really, but his energy, him as a front man. And I finally was able to like, because I don't know what to call the band itself. Like you say, like you want to say punk band, but you're like, they have like dance songs. They have like straight up like, so I was like, I think that what this would I would categorize it as would be like an indie oi punk band. You know what I mean? Like this is like this is if an indie band was also an oi punk band, like this, because he's got that fucking, oi, you fucking Jay Dilla's the king. You know, it was just like, well, whoa, buddy.
I'll say this about them being punk is I was reading an interview because I was watching this live footage of them, and then I saw this interview that went along with like whatever studio sesh they were doing, and I don't know if it's been like this their whole career, but this is what, because they were asking the lead singer about being able to like remembering the lyrics, and I was like, why would he have trouble remembering the lyrics? Because apparently he's like, yeah, I've only actually sang these a few times, and I'm like, wait, what? And he explained it more, and I don't know if it's been like this the whole band. I really hope it has been, because it makes it kind of a little bit cooler. But I know at least on this new album, they play the music and he listens to the music and he just goes in. And whatever he says the first time are the lyrics.
That makes a lot of sense, because that song, Never Fight a Man with the Perm, like the way he talks in certain parts, it's like
sound stream of consciousness.
Yeah. He's like, and you never do. Yeah. And you're just like, it sounds like he's like trying to think of a melody, but instead of like working out the melody and trying to figure out lyrics and a message and all this other shit, it's like, it's like a kind of it is one of my favorite things. I love a one take thing. You know what I mean? Like that we talked about the Chariot thing that they have where it was all a one take.
It was all live, yeah. And well, also too that writing process kind of goes back. I think it aids in why people connect with them, because like I was saying before, music is such an emotional thing about like sort of why you enjoy certain things about music and stuff, and like the way he's doing his lyrics is like, from an emotional standpoint, the clearest way to do it in a weird way. Now, it might not be everyone's cup of tea, and he seems really fucking good at it. So even when he's just going off the top like that, it's still creating this slightly, while it may not be on the surface coherent, it's still like, as you're listening, it's still creating this like coherent through line during the song. But so you were talking about earlier, this is what I was trying to get to. I'm very long-winded, but you guys have listened to the podcast. This is what I was trying to get to when you were talking about the genre. So I watched that video and I was like looking up more articles about like, I was like, wait, so this is if this is how he's been recording his lyrics the whole time, I'm like, that's kind of fucking sick. Yeah. Because that is a funny thing where it really determines it whether it's really sick whether he's good at it or not. Because it's like, if you were like, oh, he records all of his lyrics live in one take off the top of his head, and then the lyrics suck ass, you're like, well, you should probably not do that.
Yeah.
But then the fact, you should probably like work on them. But then the fact that you listen to it and it fucking hits, you're like, well, that's how you do it then, I guess. So I found this one article, and they were talking about the band, and it was an interview with him, and he had this whole part, and this is why I think they're a punk they're partially a punk band because he was very adamant about the fact that they weren't a punk band. So that means he's irritated with how often people call them a punk band. So he's more, it's like when people say, I'm not a hipster, you're 9 times out of 10 a hipster.
Yeah.
So like they're definitely partially a punk band, but they're not a punk band. They're like a punk they're like something infused with punk. It's whatever that fucking, I don't know what like I'm not up on British music to where I can name what the genres are, but you notice British music. Like I just know the bands I like. Like I like Interpol a lot. I should double check that. I don't know if Interpol's British.
Isn't that the place where FBI puts all their criminals?
Interpol is like world police, I think.
So I would say they're not entirely.
Oh no, they're from New York. Never mind.
Oh,
Interpol.
Oh,
but yeah, so they just remind me, because I know there's bands like Arctic Monkeys who I don't know what that is, but it's fun. And then there's bands like Block Party where I'm like, I'm not 100% sure what that is, but it's fun. And I think that's what like confuses me about a lot of these British bands, because they're all derivatives of shit I know, but I don't exactly know what they are. Yeah. Tony says they're it's this like garage rock shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like they're not fully an indie band, like a garage rock band or anything like that. They're not fully an oi band. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not like this, but he's got that energy. He's got that fucking like you said, the gravel in his voice, the way he taught, like the way, and the storytelling in this stuff in each one of the songs sounds like that's the original part of it. Like that's why, yes, I wouldn't just say, so maybe they're not indie, they're not oi, maybe they're indoi. You know what I mean? Or
I don't know. Yeah, that all sounds retarded. But
dude, literally, it like Never Fight a Man with a Perm is literally just him telling a story about a time where he got into a fight. Like it's like just him saying like,
no, I'm saying I'm making fun of you because the combination sounded weird.
Oh, well,
there's weird. No, I don't know if they would be. I don't know if you could call them an oi band. I think the guy has a distinct voice. Because what would be an oi band?
What's in the word voice but oi, Andy? Now you're wrong.
What?
You remember listening to Screwdriver, right?
Yeah, no notes. Perfect band.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You take those vocals, you take any of the message out of it, and just turn them into vague stories that you tell one take.
You take the message out of a Screwdriver song?
Yeah.
All right, then I'm
You think
not
the
listening.
guy had a perm, Andy?
Okay, I'm gonna move. Oh, permanent removal of the Jews. I get what he was trying to.
Why'd you take it? You took it the
You
wrong.
said it's like Screwdriver, the best band ever.
But they have like that. They have that the weird. I hate to say it, but like the energy of a fucking punk band. But they're not. They're not just a punk band by any means. No, I wouldn't say they're a punk band and just can't put them in that kind of category. They're a very original band that I don't know how exactly to fully like put them, because 1 minute they're doing a fucking song with. Isn't there a song with like LCD Sound System or something like that on this album?
Yeah.
And then like the next one they're talking about like, I think it's that song Gift Horse, where it's just like if you hear that live, you're like, damn, this is like a punk band. Is this a punk band? Because it feels like that. It feels like this fucking
like
boy band.
Yeah, I'll say this. I wouldn't call them a punk band, but it is funny when it is funny if I forget exactly what his energy was, but I got to assume he's annoyed at being called, like, people calling them a punk band. And it's like it's like, dude, have you listened to your band? Like, you have the exact tone of punk guitars. So I could see, like, that always makes me laugh when people get frustrated, so they get a little sloppy on their execution on describing something.
Yeah.
Where it's like he would go, "We're not a fucking punk band." It's like, well, I mean, like, listen to it.
You're a little bit of a punk band.
It would make the response that would make more sense is like, excuse me, the response that would make more sense is, I understand why you think we're a punk band, but I personally think we're a little bit more than that. But I've also I haven't experienced being told something you disagree with 1,000 times over and over again, and no matter how many times you tell people, like, you know what I mean? Like, I would get frustrated after a certain point. So I'll give them a little bit of leeway. But yeah, it is. Well, and this is what's this is kind of what's fun about music now. Now, Idols isn't a new band, but also they're a band that is like pretty, what's the fucking word? They're pretty relevant now in the music scene and shit like that. And it's just for me being in my 30s, sort of experiencing new music now, new music, not necessarily new bands, but just music that is new right now. You start noticing, and this is what makes categorizing it harder, is because you start from years of listening to a lot of music, you just start noticing all the different elements. It's why I always love to bring up See You Space Cowboy, because that one's so hard to me, because I go, well, if you listen to them, sometimes they're a hardcore band, and sometimes they're clearly an emo band, and sometimes they're clearly a screamo band, and it's like, it's hard to, and that's what's fun about these bands right now, is like, there's just been so much music, and so much music that they've listened to that I've also listened to, that I can start dissecting them, or I should say, not dissecting them, but I can start sort of seeing the different parts of them more clearly. Because, you know, like we were saying with Idols, the second you start calling them a punk band, you go, well, what about that one part? What about that guitar part in the fucking Never Trust a Guy with a Perm that kind of sounds like a Block Party song? And Block Party's not a punk band, blah, blah, blah. You know, and it just becomes this interesting conversation.
Yeah, they can't just be like held into one particular category. They're just a great band. But they definitely, if you're seeing them live, I would say it probably feels like a punk show. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean punk bands can't write. Like, Zeke is doing a weird thing. I don't know. Again, it might be a Spotify mix-up. I don't know if we talked about this on the show or not. This the band Zeke. It's a band I used to listen to all the time.
Have you brought them up before?
I think so, but I can't remember if we talked about them on the show or not. But like, I tried to find them on Spotify. I was like, oh man, I want to catch up with those guys, find out what they've been doing. And like, they had just put out music, but it's like weird, like dance music, like almost like house music and shit like that.
It might
like,
be. So
I think it might be a different band.
Well, that the reason I want to bring this up is because there's this metalcore band, I believe they're metalcore, called Eras, or just Era, ERRA, and I listened to a little bit of their shit. Fuck. Let me actually bring up Spotify so I can show you this. No, but it was funny. So like Friday comes around and all the new Friday comes. Oh, hey, good comment. Finally caught this. Where is it? Finally caught this awesome pod live. We missed you too. Destroy a boy 47. Hell yeah, dude. Destroy boys, and leave that up to your interpretation. How are you doing that, dude?
Don't
answer. Oh, but I was so it was like new music. Friday was coming up, all the new music's coming out, and I see this band Era, who I got like a little sampling of, and I was like, I'll check out more of their stuff. They weren't necessarily my thing, but I was like, you know, that was just one song. Let's check them out. The opposite has happened. I've been hyped as fuck for. It's funny. The not that I disliked it, but like with the Idols album, like Gift Horse was a big boisterous song, and then I got like halfway through the album, and the first half of the album is actually like weird and spacey and kind of like borderlining psychedelic. Maybe
punk
not that. What?
Punk as fuck.
Super duper punk rock. But no, and I've seen this happen. So back to Eras, I've seen this. Sorry, my Spotify is taking forever to open. But back to Era. See, I've seen this on Spotify a few times where you get like a different performer under the same name, and I don't know the ethnicity of the performer. It looked she looked Asian. I'm not 100% sure which country in Asia she's from. Yeah. But it had the vibe of that like city pop music. And it's like, I clicked on it being like, all right, let's listen to this metalcore band. And it's a lot of like, and I'm like, what the fuck? And so that's got to be an interesting thing as a band where you're like, I'm so curious how you deal with that. Because it's like you're not mad, but you're also like, hey, this categorization is getting our shit fucked up online.
I think they actually may have fixed it because it doesn't look like they're coming up now. But like for a while,
they don't have an album with a pretty lady.
What, Zeke?
No,
Oh,
no. Oh, I thought you were looking up Era.
oh no, but I was trying to find. So I think maybe, and it looks like there's a artist called Zeke Beats. Maybe that was the person that was putting out those sick ass beats, and but getting mixed up. It was just weird that it was kind of bleeding into that algorithm, and that because like that was showing up on my what's new, and I was like, damn, new music from Zeke, that's awesome. Hell yeah. And I was just like, oh, what the fuck is this? This is terrible. And I think, what was the other one? I think it might not have been Zeke. That might have just been like a glitch or some shit. But there was another one. Fuck. Damn it.
Oh, here I got it.
Yeah.
That actually happened to a band I had two bands I had back in the day. Both times. When I was in high school, I had a band called Zed's Dead. It was a reference to that one line in
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, it was a reference to that. And then we were doing that for a minute, and then I looked up, and there was some. Actually, I think he's still on. He's probably on Spotify because I think he's like a legitimate. But yeah, there was like a. Yeah. There was. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. They get 2 million monthly listeners. They're pretty fucking big.
Oh, I guess they're pretty big.
Yeah, I guess they're pretty fucking big.
That's pretty big, I guess.
But yeah, Zed's Dead. And then and then my other band that I did with Jay Simpson was called Tune in Tokyo. And then there was another.
Really? There was another one of those too?
I think. Maybe I'm wrong about that, actually. Oh, there's a couple, but none of them are significant.
Yeah.
Oh, but this is not. No, this is interesting. I apologize to everyone involved. But oh yeah, that let me show you that Era band because this was really funny to me. Where like you have this band who's got like slight metalcore energy, not on the face, but then this is the fucking album. This is the fucking album. Whoever this girl is, and like that was the other. Look how the like. It's in whatever the native language is.
Yeah, you're like, that could be metal.
You're like, I mean, those designs feel pretty fucking metal.
Damn, I can't remember the fucking other band. There was I'm looking at the Punkoramas now because I'm pretty sure they're on that. Fuck. Damn it. There was like a German punk band that I used to listen to all the time. I know I'll remember the fucking name eventually. It'll hit me. But there's they put out like essentially the same idea, but they're like dancey kind of techno house music, but it actually was them. And I was just like, oh, that's a big shift and I don't like it.
Yeah, that happens a lot of times. I think it's I understand. This is why I'm always a huge proponent of side projects because I understand bands wanting to go through these like creative shifts and stuff like that. But I think once you've established like a general sound, honestly, dude, even like one album in, depending on like how big you get off that first album or two.
Yeah.
Like even one album in, it's like you kind of solidify a certain type of sound. And I understand like it's, you know, you're musicians, you're artists, you get all creative. You have different creative urges and this and that. But also at the same time, it's like, dude, it's like if you had a local coffee shop or something, and then you showed up one morning to get your coffee, and they're like, "Oh, no, we just serve mead."
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah.
Well, no, like you've been coffee this whole time. Like that's what I love. Why'd you guys just stop selling coffee? It was so sick that you sold coffee. Like I think about that because I still listen to that one 4 Year Strong album we talked about, Rise or Die Trying, because it's such a bittersweet experience for me listening to Rise or Die Trying by 4 Year Strong because I'm like, this is so fucking good. This is so fucking good. Oh my God, how did you guys figure out how to infuse metal and metalcore songwriting elements into a pop punk structure? It's fucking mind-blowing. It's groundbreaking. And then I sit there and go, and then you stopped fucking doing it after this album. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Well,
dude, I'm gonna find.
The album right after that, they did it a little bit, but it was on only a couple songs, and they pretty much abandoned it after that. It just doesn't make any sense. Wait, what are you looking for?
I'm still trying to find the fucking. I'm pretty sure they were on Fat Records, the German band, and I don't think it wasn't Frezzo Ram. They're from. Damn, they're not. They may not. Oh, Wizzo. There it is, Wizzo. So the band Wizzo, let me look them up real quick. Or actually, if you wanted to, they're the German band that was like this really cool, weird, like I have no idea what the fuck they're singing about, punk band when I was
How do you
growing up.
spell Wizzo?
Wizo. See, no, that must have been another one. So it must have been, this must have been plaguing a couple of the bands that I was following, because put out something. No, they got new music and it looks kind of punk, I think. It's hard to tell because you can't tell by the names. They're all in German. But
yeah, I
it
mean their look is pretty consistent over the albums.
Yeah.
So it would imply that it's
it must have just been Zeke that was the one that they fixed it, because Zeke Beats exists now on Spotify when you search it. So they may have, because that's got to be annoying, dude. Like, again, if you're like, hey, we're on Spotify, we don't get a ton of listens, maybe we get enough that like we can monetize a little bit, and we have our old category, and then all of a sudden you have your fans emailing your thing and being like, what the fuck is this? And it's just because Spotify was like, oh, you're not also, this isn't also Zeke. Oh, my bad.
There was some new releases I wanted to go over real quick before we went into that Anthony Fantano conversation. For anyone who doesn't know, go check out we were talking about, this is the Idols album Tank, which I like the spelling because I think that's like if you say it the way it's spelled
British.
there.
Say British.
Yeah, I feel like you end up saying it with a Brit tank. Tank.
I
like that. That's clever. I wanted to give a big shout out here. I wanted to give a big shout out to click on it. Cannibal Corpse.
Hell yeah, right? Isn't that good? Isn't it good?
So I used to do this all the time with food when I was a little kid. I never thought what?
Eat it.
Like way too much of it.
That's why you're thinking of the cannibal thing. So Steph, long story short,
I ate Steph.
Steph doesn't have a leg anymore.
I ate her. Ate her out.
Bones and all. Have you seen that movie? No, never mind. We're I don't want to digress too much. Cannibal Corpse.
I don't want to digress. Also, it's my favorite thing.
It is about eating people, but either way, it's on topic. But never mind.
No, I was laughing listening to Cannibal Corpse because I go, oh yeah, it reminded, because I was like a kind of picky eater. I didn't think I was. I just was like, no. Because a lot of times people who are picky eaters, they're almost like afraid of the food.
Yeah.
I was never in my mind afraid of the food. I just was like, no. I know I don't like it. I've never tried it, but I know I don't like it.
Cottage cheese does not interest me. I don't want to eat cottage cheese. No thanks. Oh, but it's so good. Okay. More for you.
But my thought process was like, no. I've done all the tests up here and I've realized I do not like it. And it's like, no, you didn't do the proper test, Andy. You're misinformed. And I think I did that with Cannibal Corpse.
Oh, really?
Just like, I remember the shirts back in the day because I wasn't into I wasn't into metal like that, because that was a big part of Cannibal Corpse when I was in high school. Everyone would be like, they got these
a lot of their imagery.
Crazy. And I was just like, I mean, you can't just be a pretty outside. What do you got on the inside? So like the shirts, I never got wooed by the Cannibal Corpse shirts. I didn't give a fuck about that, because if you're a shitty band, I don't care how cool your shirts are.
Right.
And then there was always this thing, like you always see this clip of Cannibal Corpse where there's the lead singer, and I love that the lead singer's called Corpse Grinder, but then it's just like, dude, if you typed into AI, give me the typical deathcore fan, like he would just pop out, fucking long hair, no neck. And then there's always this like, I don't know, a lot of people who would hype up Cannibal Corpse seemed to me like theater kids who liked metal, because they'd show you this clip where it'd be him be like, this next song is about shooting blood out your cock. And I'm like, this is annoying. I don't like this.
Yeah. Turns out Guar was onto something. You just needed the costumes.
I just needed Cannibal Corpse to have outfits, I guess.
Yeah, that's really all it is. It's just the fact that if he looks like you and he's standing on stage and he just goes, "You ready to hear about blood coming out of cocks?" Like, I don't want to hear about VD, friend. Can you get a fucking spaceman mask?
Can you get a spaceship?
Can you get a space or a giant magnet out here that'll help me understand what you're talking about? Why exactly is penis because that's the thing, is they're going to say this next one's about blood coming out of a cock. And you're like, oh, cool. this is going to be a crazy story, and then just go. And you're like, what happened? How the with Guar? They're like, here's a space alien came down, and then the maggot bit the tip of the cock, and now there's blood coming out of the cock. You know what I mean? It's more like a puppet show.
And then we're going, yay, fun!
Hey, blood's coming out. Now I know how the blood came out of the cock.
Oh, and then there would be this other thing I'd always see where they'd show this picture of the lead singer of Cannibal Corpse, and he'd be holding a bunch of stuffed animals, and people would be like, yeah, that's the lead singer of Cannibal Corpse. He actually loves little kids' stuffed animals. And I go, well, in that context, he sounds like a pedophile, so maybe we should check into him. Now, he's not. Let's make it very clear, he's not. I looked into it. The dude is actually a beast at crane games.
Yeah, he loves crane games, and what he does, which is also would lead to him looking like all of the other autistic gentlemen in the crowd. He loves claw games, and then he gives all the stuffed animals away. So,
which is sick.
It's like how my wife and I like to play air hockey, and we give all our tickets to the children in the arcade.
So because of that, I was like, all right, that dude's actually sick. Yeah. Being good, like I can't tell you why, but being good at crane games is sick to me. Like that's honestly,
talk about manifesting. His parents name him Corpse Grinder, and he ends up fronting a band called Cannibal Corpse. What are they?
It's crazy how that works, dude.
Yeah, Corpse Grinder Johnson comes out of his mother's cunt, and he goes, "Cunt, bloody cunt!" And then you're like, "Wait a minute, he's onto something." And then they embrace that. Honestly, though, I feel like Cannibal Corpse, what Tonya pounded off in the comment here, I agree with. I was definitely always a snob, except for like, unless I heard them. It's so funny that I never gave more a chance. But if I so Black Dahlia Murder was the first one that kind of broke that, and Job for a Cowboy a little bit, but I never became a huge fan of theirs. I was a big fan of Black Dahlia Murder for a while. And I always was like, because I could read their logo, but it was kind of like one of those like, I don't know. And then you have all the other ones like scratchy, weird. Like I always felt like, I think we've talked about this in the past of like, all right, come on. With the imagery, you know, sometimes like I liked Iron Maiden because it was weird and creepy and vague. And like, maybe it's kind of like a different ultimate dimension. Yeah. This was too real. This felt like you're showing me hell. And I don't love that. Like, so it's yeah, go ahead.
You brought up Black Dahlia Murder. So the funny thing about that is I feel like some people look at a band like that and they think they might think it's cringy to name your band after like an actual event like that or whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, I always thought it was cool because when I was in high school, there was this, they were like they were just like, at the time I didn't really listen to like metalcore, deathcore or anything like that, so I couldn't pinpoint what they were at the time.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking they were like a deathcore band or like a grindcore band, but they were called Bataan Death March. And I remember, funny enough, I remember seeing it and going, Bataan Death March? Like oh, like a color guard? And then I remember looking them up and I'm like, oh, it's way more fucked up than that. Look up Bataan.
Sorry, I picked up my phone and apparently it was playing Chris Isaac Wicked Game. I don't know why. I did not pick that at all. Like I picked up I was looking through Spotify earlier to try to find Wizzo and all that other shit. And I was like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I just go to look at something. And
wait, you were looking up? No, that makes complete sense.
Wizzo,
Wicked Games. I bet if you type in a W, Wicked Games is one of the first songs that comes up.
Damn, that's crazy. Those motherfuckers just stole a listen from me. Those motherfuckers. I don't want to give Chris Isaac a goddamn. That's gonna fuck up my algo, brother. I don't want Chris Isaac fucking up everything. I'm not a fan. I don't hate him or anything, but I'm not a fan.
You're so annoying.
We're talking about Cannibal Corpse right now. I don't want to.
I give you such a clear explanation, and you go, "That's insane how that happened."
No. It's not. No, I understand. I'm just saying it pissed me off because I did not click that, and that frustrates me. I'm gonna throw up. I'm so angry I can throw up, Andy. That's all I'm saying.
But anyway,
what's so weird about that?
That's crazy what happened to you. So my story that I was still telling.
Oh, you like Cannibal Corpse? Oh, good, Andy.
That's how much you're not listening. I'm talking about Bataan Death March, you jackass.
Mechanical Hunter?
You jack. Hey, knock, knock.
Who's there?
You jackass.
Can you let me in into the conversation?
No, there's no jackasses allowed.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'll hang out here.
Fucking jackass.
Give it to him in the comments, guys. This guy, I'm the favorite. Everybody knows it. I'm good. He's
But
back.
no, ever since hearing about that band, I remember being in high school being like, "Oh, they named themselves after something so fucked up." I remember just being like, "Yeah, fucked up band names." I was like, "Let's fucking do this."
Yeah, Cannibal
Um,
Corpse was always like, it's kind of like I felt like was in the same thing of like, all right, I get it. You know, you're evil dudes,
yeah,
cool. But the depth of the even just the lead singer, like you said, being a weirdo that loves claw machines, you're just kind of like, oh, he's not can't be that evil.
well, it literally like one of the big shifts in my head was literally like, oh wait, he just likes claw machines. Cause I cannot. There's this fucking thing. I think the millennials started it, but there's this fucking thing that people in our age range and older kind of do sometimes. Well, not older, but like within 5 to 10 years of our age range, they do this fucking thing where they're like, actually, I do things that are intended for kids, but they put in things there for the adults, and I kind of get the deeper meaning. And it's like, no, they put things in there so when adults watch them with their kids, they're not bored.
Right.
But like, don't like. I'm not saying it's never happening,
Yeah.
but stop looking for this ultra deep meaning in these kids shows. Like you're like, I think you're just a little
You're a
immature.
stunted asshole.
Yeah.
You're the
Yes.
stunted asshole that thinks
Yes.
there's a deeper meaning. No, they do this so that you'll like it and you'll talk like an asshole at the fucking playground with the other parents and go like, actually, I think the Toy Story 3 was actually a algorithm. No, it's there's no, they made you cry because you're going to die sooner than your son or daughter. And they're enjoying the weird, scary imagery a little bit. And they're doing this, but you're thinking
and it's
way
yeah.
too much about this.
Yes, no, they're literally just making it palatable for parents.
That's
so
it.
when their kids go, I want to go see this movie, the parents go, "Oh yeah, I can watch that."
The Minions.
Yeah, no, if I had a kid and he ended up liking a really annoying thing, I would push him so far in a different direction on a less annoying show. Like, what are you guys talking about? But yeah,
Right.
shout out Cannibal Corpse. Actually, in perfect Pat fashion, this shit was from September. I'm sorry. Was that too
Wait,
mean?
that one?
Yeah, Cannibal Corpse came out in September.
I'm pretty sure that showed up in my. I don't know if that showed up in my new music or
That's
what's
not
new.
what we're talking about. We're not talking about when you found it.
No, I understand, but I hold on a
Sorry,
second.
dude. I'm not busting too many balls.
No, not yet.
All right. Let's there was another one I wanted to talk about because we brought them up before, but this is I was curious about your take on this because you sent me we talked about them before, but that band Mean Jeans came out with their full-length album. It's called Blasted. So I listened to a good amount of it, and I'll give them props. It's not bad, but like my main complaint with it, I got about 5 songs in, and I go, this is just a Ramones album.
Yeah, well, I think I can't remember how I put it. It was like Screeching Weasel meets DOA. That's what I think I was.
Okay.
I think that's the band that I was talking about. That it reminded me of. Oh
yeah,
no,
I'm more familiar with Ramones, so I think that's why my brain went there. But I was just like, this is like, I don't know. It's just a Ramones album.
Yeah, I think it kind of like it wasn't not again not like reinventing the wheel or anything like that, but it was just kind of like it's I believe it's a Fat Records album.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. So it's kind of like I think what the thing about it was it. I thought I sent you my thoughts about it, but it was kind of more like a.
We're here now.
Yeah, reminds me of Screeching Weasel, which is
Hey.
is a good thing. Sorry,
I'm right here. Just tell me.
no, I was looking at our messages. Oh, did you get a hard F?
We're here.
They're in there. No, it just kind of reminds me of Screeching Weasel, and Screeching Weasel was kind of very much not inventing the wheel, just like, but one of my favorite examples of pop punk, like early pop punk, like the Queers, Screeching Weasel, and like I feel like that's just kind of they're passing the torch. They're continuing with making like we talk about this a lot too, like just bands that are just kind of are just writing like Pennywise is just writing Pennywise song or albums and stuff like that, and they kind of get very simplistic. Is it this is kind of like it feels like their interpretation of being influenced by the Ramones, Screeching Weasel, uh,
So
other like pop punk bands and shit like that.
So I hear what you're saying, but and you're not wrong, but like I'll take it one step further. Cause like when we were talking about idols earlier,
Mhm.
we said they sound punk. But like we weren't sitting here going like,
They sound like
oh,
this band.
like I'm listening to this going like, guys, you wrote Ramon songs. Like I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
you're inspired by the Ramones." Like you wrote Ramon songs. And it's like I don't know. I'm not trying to like. I get that these are all probably cool dudes,
Well-
hardworking, nothing personal. It's just like it's this thing when you hear the music, you go, how are you a musician? You don't notice this.
Well, I
Like,
think-
and you're almost you're almost asking the question like, what's the point of putting this out? I'm not trying to be a fucking dick. I know I'm coming off like that, and that's completely fair. If Mean Gene's never wants to fucking hang out with me again, but it is a thing where you're like. It's interesting to not hear that on their part.
Yeah, I guess how or how we were talking about like Green Day or some other bands where you're just like, what do you this doesn't
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah, but I think with this, and this is credit that I would like to give to Fat Records for continuing. Like they have there's another band they have on there, Masked Intruder. Have you ever heard them?
Yeah, they're like a ska band, right?
No, they're
Masked Intruder.
Masked Intruder are the shtick is they all have ski masks on.
Yeah,
And like they're kind of I'll call them like mild Aquabats. There's not like a running story, and they don't do like a lot of act outs, but there's some characters. There's like a cop character that comes out, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you, Masked Intruders." But like overall, they're like a pop punk band kind of thing. They're not. They're a little bit more. The vocals are a little bit more dynamic than Mean Gene's, I would say, but it's similar in the category. And I really appreciate that Fat Records is giving a home to new bands that have that sound. Like you said, whether they're just re-envision spirits of the Ramones, maybe they're just, most of them are dead. So they even could be their kids. Like if all the kids of the Ramones wanted to make a band, Fat Records would be like, come on over here. You can come on in here, just write whatever the fuck you want. We'll put it out. Like, I really do feel like they're truly inspired. They're truly, like, they're giving like artists like the space to make whatever the hell they want. If it's just writing Ramones songs and putting it out, they're like, here you go, because we know there's an audience for it. And I like Mean Genes. I don't think and honestly now, like, it even may be a reference. The name may be a reference to Mr. Mean Gene Okerson, rest in peace. And now you have to swallow all your words because they're wrestling fans.
Okay.
I'm trying to support them, but I'm like, I
don't know.
I don't love them. I like them. You know what I mean? But like, I'm like, come on, man, be nice.
I'm trying to follow all the Pat narratives you've established. You're like, who knows? Maybe all of Masked Intruder are children of the Ramones. That might be what's happening.
I think if they're children of the Ramones, they wouldn't have masks on. That'd be crazy. You gotta
They'd have leather jackets.
Yeah, you gotta let them know. You know,
there's nothing I love more than a Pat narrative, dude. It's the best.
Well, look, Fat Records is incubating young Ramones, and or
they have young Ramones test tube babies in the basements of Fat
Now
Records.
We're getting into Pat conspiracy theories. Do I not believe that? I mean, you know,
I'm trying to figure out the word because a Pat conspiracy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love. That's what they're called, Patspiracies.
Yeah, that's a Patspiracy. I think Fat Records is cloning old bands.
Cloning the Ramones and Screeching Weasel.
They're not doing AI. They're skipping it. They're just making full-on clones. They're 3D printing.
Oh, dude, you got to be like Alex Jones. Or like, in the basement of Fat Records, there's human Ramones hybrids.
They've got Jello Biafra's DNA.
Yeah, they're infusing it with a pig. It still looks like Jello Biafra. People don't know the difference. I don't know why Jello Biafra just caught a stray. He's fat now, so
yeah, he's more like Jelly Biafra.
Yeah,
he's so fat. No, he was fat before when I saw him too. But he had a belt buckle. I remember specifically he had a sheriff like star belt buckle, and his belly was like was stressing that sumbitch, and it was going right over the top. You could bear it. Kind of looked like a almost full moon. You know when the full moon is like this, but then there's just that little crescent right there. They're like, not quite full moon.
And then when he said the N-word in Holiday in Cambodia, it just busted off.
Yeah, he can't help it. What? We've got a black guy as a drummer.
We have a black guy as a drummer.
Again,
We're like punk rock B-52s.
Those
Jello.
Jello.
Oh,
How did we get there? Oh yeah. So anyway, Mean Jeans is a great band. Like they're
sorry,
a good band.
I'm still laughing over. We have a black guy as a drummer.
They do.
They
Can't
did.
get in trouble.
He said it was okay.
He gave me a pass.
I wanted to ask you about one more thing before we got out of this.
I'll give you two if you want.
I only need one.
You can ask me about any of my things, maybe.
Ooh, actually, no, I have two things. Thank you for giving me two. Because no, I wanted to ask you about this one band. Oh yes, Mad Caddies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, their latest release. Green Eyes.
They put out. Is this a single?
It's an EP. Yeah, it says single, but there's 3 songs, so why not just call it an EP, right?
But I think bands have been doing this thing where they'll put out a single. They'll put out one single for the album, and then they'll put out the second single, and then the second single will also have the first single, and then they'll put out the third single, and then the third single will have the second and first one, and then all 3 releases will not have a different cover, so you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. I hate that. I already don't like that. I'd rather you just be mixed up with a techno band.
Yeah, because a lot. Yeah, I will throw that out there. A lot of bands need to there's AI, guys. Just make a different cover for each single. It's
different covers. You know what I mean? Like make the next one purple, and the next one green, and the next one blue, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like each one a little bit different.
But all jokes aside, though, that does like feed into the thing where it subtly tells your audience like you give a shit. Where if you just put out 3 singles with all the same cover, and then you put out the fucking album, and that's the same fucking cover, it's like, I don't know. It just shows me in an area where you could have tried. Now, I haven't clicked on it. I don't know if Mad Caddies did that. They probably fucking did. I'm not even trying to shit on.
Oh, now it's an Andy conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. Conspiracy? Damn it.
Well, let's fucking figure it out. Yep.
Damn it, Andy.
Yep. Straight to jail, Mad Caddies. Straight to fucking jail.
And by the way, I will say this. Put out a single. Like we there's another band that we may or may not talk about in a little bit with Strung Out. Putting out singles and stuff like that. Same art cover and everything, but literally a single. One song. They're putting out a song and then another song. I like that more because when you put out these 3 motherfuckers each time, then when the album comes out, I've heard half the album. I want more surprise. I like getting a little taste. I don't mind a little taste, and you can divvy that taste up how you want. But
how much do you like? So here's a good question. The only ones
don't give yourself that much credit.
No. Here's a great question.
Hey, Pat. Oh. I like how it hit you too. Whoa. Oh, this is a good question. Hold on. I have to say it. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? Here comes a good question.
Here's a bagger.
I'll determine if it's a good question, okay?
What is your ratio that you will tolerate of songs released before the album? So let me give you an example. If there's 3 songs...
that was a great question.
Yes.
I'm a little out of breath because that knocked a wind out of me. Oh, that was a good question.
Oh, buddy, that was good.
Oh, man, right in the liver.
Man.
I got to write that down. Whoa. Oh, yeah, sorry. Great. The ratio. Sorry,
I do love the. Oh,
what a question.
So I'll give you a perfect example.
Yeah.
If there's 10 songs on the album, please don't give me any more than 3 singles.
Right.
Because then it's like, bro, because fucking, I love the band, but Counterpart's last album, they put out, and I mean 10 full songs, not 10 tracks where one of them's an intro and another one's an interlude. Because Counterparts kind of did that, and they're a great band, and the songs they put out were great. They put out 3 singles, and then you listen to the album. The first song's like an intro track, kind of. Then they have like a fucking. I think they have like a sort of soft intermission-y type song, and then they already put out 3 songs. So now,
exactly.
Like you've already given me half the album.
You're watering it down. Like if you're gonna put an interlude in there, also, so it depends on if this is the early 2000s and there are interlude songs or not, because
Still
those were
interludes
prevalent.
here and there.
But but it's not as prevalent. You know what I mean? Like this is
I would agree with that.
The average. But if there is, if you have the interlude song and you've released, like you said, I think 3 is pushing it. If there's 10 songs on the album,
10 full songs.
because if that means there's technically 9 full songs, you know what I mean, and a break.
No. I'm saying, I'm not talking about tracks.
Yeah.
You can give me a
okay.
You can give me an intro. You can give me some skit.
Gotcha.
I don't know why, but your hands made me laugh when you're like, oh. Okay, I got it.
Okay, Andy.
The floor is yours.
I concede.
What a great fucking question.
I'm still reeling from this question. I don't even.
Ooh. But yeah. I'll take 10 full songs, 3 singles, and like Dance Gavin Dance was great on their last album. And everything around it was great. Sorry, I can't avoid it. It's just right there. It's just right there. Like the innocence you took from her was right there. Anyway, Jesus Christ, we're never.
Allegedly.
I'm never gonna get to interview them because I like jokes more than opportunities.
Yeah, they're better though. Jokes are better than opportunities.
For real.
Laughing opportunities. No,
laughter becomes the opportunity, and that's the best opportunity I've ever been around. But no, they. What a great point. Oh my God, what a great point.
I did more hands. Anybody just listening, I just did hands.
Yeah.
Also, this was 2 weeks ago.
What?
I said also this episode was recorded 2 weeks ago.
Oh, but with Dance Gavin Dance, they put out like 5 singles, but then they gave you like an album that was over an hour. So you're like, I'm fine. Yeah,
so I would say I think that's a pretty good ratio. I feel like
pretty good ratio.
No matter what though, like I want to. So if I'm being serious with you, if you're giving me a full length album, I want 12 songs. I personally want 12 to 13 songs.
How many sings?
And from that, I would say the same ratio. A 3 maximum, like because like
12 full songs.
Yeah, not including the intro, interludes, or anything like that. You can throw those into, but the 12 minimum, in my opinion, for a full length is what I would prefer. But I don't think that's just my personal standard, and I still say 3 just because I like a good chunk of songs. Like actually, NoFX did this once with the War on Airism when that was coming out. They did like a commercial. Now this is the other opportunity that I like. As many singles as you'd like, right? So you can put those singles out, like say 3 singles out, but on those singles, you can add B-sides, covers, stuff you recorded for the album, but you're not going to include on the album.
That's what
Daddy loves those. I like a good B-side cover that people are going to be like, oh, that wasn't on the album, but you're like, yeah, but it was on the single. You got to get that, and then you listen to this, and then that's what
Green Day was always good for that. Especially it made buying their singles on vinyl really fun because I bought like 1 or 2, and they'd always have like, bro, it'd be sick because it would be so random. I remember, I forget what era it was, but it was sort of in the middle, like the later middle-ish era. And it was just I bought a single. I think it was during the Warning era, actually, right before American Idiot. And yeah, they just randomly had 2 live tracks from songs off.
Live tracks are good.
Wait. They had 2 live tracks from what was the album after Dookie? Insomniac, which is just 2 random live songs from an album 2 albums ago. It's just like little shit like that. You're like, oh, that's fun as fuck.
Yeah, like something like a little treat. Something like that is good because no matter what, I like renditions of songs. I like that artists or like bands and stuff like that a lot of times can have the luxury of after they've recorded something being able to add and change and do whatever they want, make a little melody of shit or something like that. I would still like something similar to that, like a live version, maybe even a single and then also like, hey, maybe a recent recording that of you guys playing that on the road, and you're like, here's a live version of the single, here's a different mix, even stuff like that, different mixes, different edits, features and stuff like that. That's all stuff that I feel like bands are able to do. And this is, and I don't mean this as a critique. I don't think that this is necessarily, it's not a judgment, but I feel like every band is capable of this. It's not, it's just like how comics, some or other entertainers and stuff are better at clipping stuff or better at this or better at marketing. There's strengths in for each band, I'm sure, but it's just about marketing, I feel like. So Mad Caddies, I know of them as being quite a prolific band. And so these might both, if they put out two like little mini EPs that like 6 songs, 6 singles already, they may be like, none of these may even be on the album. I don't know. They're very interesting. They're very unique. And even through these 3 songs, maybe this is just like a mini commercial. I started telling this earlier about the War on Terrorism.
Yeah.
One of the tracks that they used for the single they put out was a commercial for the album. And they kind of played clips of multiple songs in the commercial. And then they also had like 2 or 3 songs on the EP. So like something like that, the Regaining Unconsciousness EP has a track that has songs from the full length album, but not actual, they're not really busting the nut. You know what I mean?
Also, bands need to put out EPs for the songs you didn't use on the main album.
Yeah. Don't let them go to waste. Don't like say, or if you do have those, save them up and put them out as a release. I like that over the years, B-sides, covers, stuff like that. Like,
yeah, Green Day, back to Green Day. They were a good band for that because they had this one, I forget what the fuck it was called, but they had this one album that it was all B-sides or unreleased songs. And for a time, I actually listened to that one more than the other shit.
Yeah, there was a.
That's right. Here it is. It's called Shenanigans, because they had a Yeah, man. Yeah, they had this song "Ha Ha, You're Dead," and I remember being in middle school, being like, "Oh my god, that's fucking crazy." Yeah, they had it was like a bunch of cool little shit. Like they had this song called "Espionage," which I think might have been used in. It was either used in a Mission Impossible or I want to say it was used in fucking. In fucking, they played it while they fucked.
What?
No, I lit. Okay, this is gonna bother me actually. No, I think it. Part of me wants to say it was used in a Austin Powers movie to like sound like a Mission Impossible type deal, but I actually don't know if that's true.
I feel like NoFX had the same thing, but theirs was 45 or 46 songs that weren't good.
I had that
on other albums. Yeah, great. And like honestly, they were some of my favorite NoFX songs because they were ones that I don't even think I realized that weren't on albums already.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like because I heard them so much on compilations over the years and stuff like that, and certain songs, B-sides, EPs. They had for a long time they had the 7-inch of the month club where they would put out like just songs that they weren't going to put out on albums, maybe some singles from albums, stuff like that, and they would just have like a subscription service where you get like a.
How many songs were on a 7-inch usually? Like
I think on those were like 2 or 3 each
right?
side. Yeah, I think 2.
Yeah, I was vinyl was before me getting into music like that, and then I just never got around to getting hardcore into the vinyl shit. It was always a hobby that was a couple steps down from my main hobbies, and it was a lot of money for it to be my like 5th hobby.
Yeah, it never really got me. It was kind of like I like listening to music either in my car or on headphones, and I guess you could do it. It just really limits that because you can't really listen to a record in your car.
I do. Yeah, I don't think that's not super practical. I do want to eventually become a vinyl guy where it's taking up space because I do want to. I do. Hopefully with things getting better for us, you have more time during the day and shit like that. So it would be sick to have more time to just like sit down with vinyl and then incorporate it with this nonsense and shit like that.
I would like that. I think more around the house, like having a nice stereo or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Tony knows about that. That dude's a fucking addict.
Yeah.
Bro, like weekly, he's posting in the Discord like 3 new vinyls he bought.
I do like the fact that most of vinyl collection and the hop and stuff like that is getting like listening to them. You know what I mean? Like it's not it. Most
Well, 'cause
other
you
hobbies, most other collections and stuff like that. It's like I have it, cool. Like shoes, even the shoe stuff. Like you're like shoes, but like don't get them dirty, clean them. And it's like, all right, well,
yeah,
finally you're
that's
taking care of it, but you're actually using it to its fullest.
there's so dude,
Use.
that's such a good point. There's so many collecting hobbies that you get the thing and then it's immediately all right, put it away and don't use it
Yeah,
for what it's for. You know what I mean? I remember even like dude, even like getting action figures. It's they're just less lame Funko Pops at a
yeah,
certain point.
yeah.
You're just getting action figures to put them on the wall and go like, I bought that.
I have it now.
And
Look at
then
that. See?
yeah, and then I was thinking about this too because so like with the move, I've been trying to sell as much shit as I can on the Facebook Marketplace. Excuse me, and then dude, Facebook Marketplace rules. I've just been going through it, seeing what people want to sell and how much they think things are worth, and it's fucking great. My favorite one I found, some dude was selling an '06 Porsche Cayenne. Yeah, and you can put like Facebook Marketplace tells you like put a video because it's good to put a video because it like you can do kind of a 360 around your thing to be like see it's not fucked up.
Yeah.
And then they they let you put up like 10 to 20 pictures and shit. And so this dude put up pictures of his Porsche, but the first one, I'm assuming it's a picture of him and he's pointing at a fucking it's like him pointing at a thing. And it just says, in 20 years, the only people who will remember you worked late will be your kids. And you're like, dude, I'm just here for a Porsche. I don't know why you're telling me to raise my kids.
Dude, I have to make enough money to get this Porsche. So like,
Yeah.
what are my options?
Oh, but the reason I brought up Facebook Marketplace, in context of this collecting conversation, like I was thinking about it where I saw this dude was posting, because I was trying to see, I have a bunch of books that I don't want anymore. Because I finished them. No.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, I'm tired of them taking up room. I'm not gonna read them.
I just after I finished reading all of them.
Did you see the absolute lack of excitement in me jumping to the like? I'll take them. What do you got? I don't want to know what you got. I don't know. I don't care. You said books, and I'm like,
yeah. Did you see me not even begin
not
to
even
offer them to you?
So if anybody wants them, Pat, can you scoot over real quick, Pat? If anybody needs these books or wants to read them, yeah, you have a bunch of books that you're trying to sell, and obviously are they like collector books? Or are they just like reading books?
No, they're just I have a tendency to now. I will give myself a pat on the back. I'll give myself a you on the back. Pat, get on my back, dude.
I'm gonna get on your back, bitch.
No, I will give myself a pat on the back. I have something shifted in me. I think it's because, and this kind of ties in with the fucking vinyl conversation, is just the way the world's going. Like, dude, I saw some of this this AI animation and how good it's looking, and just long and God, there's so many fucking tie-ins. The current state of the world is wild. So I was just like, I see this shit online about like AI animation is finally like good. It doesn't look like you're having a weird fever dream. Because you remember before AI animation would be constantly like changing
Terrifying.
shit.
Yeah.
And now it actually looks it looks regular. It's just a little shaky when you watch it. This new company put out shit. So I see stuff like that. I go, that's a lot. I fucking hate that. That's like my initial first reaction. And to actually talk about the fellas, Gallows, dude, I go on Spotify the other day. Their self-titled album just isn't there anymore. And you're like, yeah, it's just not there. And now I'm sitting here like, well, I mean, maybe it's on YouTube. But like,
but still, I don't know. It's weird.
I'm
It's
like,
weird that it's not. Why not?
I just can't like. Yeah, you're like, I just can't like listen to it now.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, and like, it just there's just all this shit that's been making me want to go more like analog with stuff like that, and it makes.
I told you I started burning CDs again, right?
Did you?
Yeah, like all the recent purchases that I bought on iTunes, because it's the same thing. Like, I'm pretty sure there's stuff there that I've bought that is not still there, and this is kind of a fear of like, this is why for the longest time. And like, actually I just stopped buying movies in general, but anytime I would buy a movie, I would try to buy one that had the Blu-ray, the DVD, and the digital thing, because I'm like, that's
Yeah.
definitely the best deal, because you have the ability to watch it online. But when they fucking take that down from iTunes, or if they lose the licensing or anything like that, you still have a hard copy that you can fucking watch. So
Yeah.
like it's the same idea with the music. I thought that same thing. They purchased shit on iTunes, like, and I bought it because I'd like to listen to it whenever I'd like. The same idea of when I bought fucking CDs. So I still have a CD player in my car. So if I still have the ability, I can still do that. I still have a way to
Yeah.
listen to shit like that, you know?
Yeah, and no, Tony makes a good point. You don't buy the digital product. You just buy the right to
It's like
experience it.
it's like a limited license, but basically, actually, literally, what you're buying is like a limited license to it. As long as they have the right to stream it or to hold it or whatever, is how
Yeah,
long you have to. And then after that, it's not yours anymore. Who gives a shit?
yeah, but it may, especially too with like, yeah, it just makes there like that's the in my if I could do a quick little fucking TED talk on AI. That's the takeaway. Everyone looks at AI and go like, how do we fix this? And obviously, like, dude, I saw some spooky shit where some coffee shop was using AI and it was just constantly analyzing their employees to
Jesus.
like to make like a statistical breakdown of how efficient everyone is and all this shit. And you're like, dude, stop. Just stop. And then I was listening to
Giving it more information.
yeah, but it's just like, dude, we like AI. If people keep implementing AI in these certain ways, like you're just gonna turn us all into like worker ants, because that's what you're doing. Like that you're actively letting the machines rule you, where you go, they're gonna track they're gonna track your movements, and then the machine's gonna print out a spreadsheet, and you're gonna take that spreadsheet and go like, well, fucking AI unit 00111010 said you were inefficient for 17% of the day, so either you need to fix, and you're like, dude, you're just becoming a tool of the machine, you fucking dork.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it may and I think that's like that's a thing that's been really like I've been internal, because everyone looks at this shit and they go like how do we get rid of this? And I go, how do I get it the fuck away from me?
Right.
You know, because it's like I don't know how you like, dude. There's dudes doing cyber attacks. It's called like ransomware, where they hack into people's systems and they're like, if you don't give us this much money, you won't get your shit back and stuff. And you're like, yeah, I don't know. I like, you know how I subvert ransomware? I have a farm with no computers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
it's one of those things. My wife just learned how to she's been taking pottery and stuff like that. She made a butter spell or something like that. It's basically a thing where you can leave your butter out on the counter without it going bad by like preserving it in like salt and water, essentially, but keeping it covered at the same time. And she made
bell.
Yeah, she made one of those. So so like I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I literally, the next thought I had was, oh yeah, we'll just make our own butter. We'll keep it in the butter. Like, and now I'm like, holy shit, a couple more steps. We got to keep. I mean, we're very far from having our own compound, but but once you start learning how to make your own bread, your own other shit, like you're kind of like, because all the other stuff it's just kind of, it gets weird, because if once you simplify things, I feel like you could have more room to be happy. But like the fact that how much of this AI, people go like, how should we stop AI? Should we keep going? Either way, the digital shit hasn't necessarily made my life. It's made it better in ways, but as far as like the artistic stuff, it's really kind of, I feel like it's progressed it too fast, too much, and I don't understand a lot about it. And that might be more on me, but it's also nothing about this seems permanent. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we keep seeing like,
that goes back to the conversation we had about the AI band, where they were like, look at all this crazy technology, look at all this da-da-da, and we did all this shit. And I listened to it for 5 seconds, and I just go, I mean, it's fine. And also, this band's not real. Oh, I don't give a fuck even remotely. And and like, that's a good thing to bring up, too, because I was thinking about it with the AI movies. Like, that shit, like when I was watching that shit where they were like, oh, let's shoot this scene for this movie, you're like, dude, that just takes all the soul out of this, man. Like, we're making art. Don't fucking. This sucks so much harder when you type it into a fucking computer. Now, I did see one thing that was kind of interesting, where it basically tried to give you, I forget what time era it was from, but it was basically an era before we had cameras.
Yeah.
And it used AI to give you what it would look like around a town from this certain time period based off the best information it had. And I go, that's kind of cool. But when it comes to like artistic shit, it's like, dude, let's just, I just wish people like keep it away, man. Just keep it away, because it's just going to snatch the soul out of it.
Yeah, we could, there's ways to utilize it, but there's also like the amount of things. Let me try to think of ways to say it. The amount of areas in your life you allow AI to come into, I feel like it's not necessarily going to make all of them better. So like there's areas, you can absolutely utilize AI or any of that stuff, that technology, but to utilize it, I feel like the more areas in your day-to-day that you utilize it, the worse it's going to kind of like dilute stuff, because already technology has diluted the quality of a lot of art. But also, I will say, has helped in a lot of ways, but I don't think more than it's diluted it. You know what I mean?
I think that's the smart way to look at it, because, you know, what's the expression? You don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's
right,
like,
but I do.
I want to throw that baby
every time. I fill my bathwater with babies
just so I can throw it out.
I just go,
and I specifically bathe on my 3rd floor.
Yeah, throw it out of the window.
So the babies have a farther distance to get thrown.
Okay.
It's on my property.
Right.
That's my right to throw the
American.
baby. This isn't Russia.
Hand signals. But yeah, you're right. You don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
But no, that's a great way to look at things, because like I remember I was talking to my brother about this forever ago with like Amazon, and you know, you have to say Amazon's, and it's like, yeah, Amazon's not perfect. They're not, you know, they definitely fuck shit up in certain aspects of their production process. But like I was telling my brother, I'm like, but Amazon has made aspects of my life better. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking, dude, I just got this book. The cover's kind of fucked up, but I just got this book called, it's called Programmed to Kill. And it's a fun little conspiracy book, basically saying, I'll do the short version. Manchurian candidates are real, and that's what serial killers are. That's the short version. But like,
it's cool.
Yeah, but like, I would not have, if I would have heard about that without Amazon, I would have had to like fucking Google it, call up all these places, like, hey, do you have this fucking thing? Or, you know, it would have been a fucking, but now I can just go on Amazon and this fucking wacky ass, fucking schizophrenic ass book is at my house the next day.
Yeah.
You know, and like all this other shit. Like, there's been so many times me and Steph we're in a bind and we need something right away. Boom, Amazon sends it the next day. But so it's like, and then I go to my brother goes like, I don't think Amazon helps me in any way. And it's like, well, you probably just don't use the website. Use the fucking website. Your life will get better. Your life will get better. Is it at the expense of third world children? Sure, but my life will get better.
What isn't though? Like, really, what isn't? Dude, I'm telling you, how many people are tweeting about atrocities on phones made on the bones of children? Do you know what I mean? Like, you it's one of those things that if you start pulling at any like string, you're going to start fucking unraveling everything. But in this actual scenario, I just find it more hilarious the fact that you just got done talking about how you're trying to sell books so you can move, and you're buying more books on Amazon. You're like, thank you, Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, no.
Buy books. Hello, Amazon books.
No, I'm not trying to. I am now not trying to sell books, because I downloaded. There's this app. It's a cool app conceptually. It's called Book Scouter, and you scan the barcode on your book, and then it shows you what websites are. There's a bunch of these other. It finds you all these other apps or websites that will buy your book, but then you'll see it, and it's like a fucking $25 book, and it'll be like, this website's buying it for 3 cents. And that's what most of it is. The highest I saw on a book was like $4. And I go, there's like a bunch of local used bookstores. Dude, I'll just give them my books. I don't like, that's too much fucking effort to sell them to these fucking websites that are probably going to make 20 times that amount on my books. I'll go give them to the fucking local dickhead down the street who will get more out of it.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
Hey,
Yeah.
also, shout out to books. Maybe when you're buying hardcovers or like hard copies.
I actually hate hardcovers. Oh,
well,
hard copies.
Hard copies, like the actual that. So, because I was just gonna say, I would love to see more hard copy books being sold with a audiobook read along.
Actually, yo, legitimately,
because I am. That's
no. Nope. There's fluoride in the water, and it's fucking our brains up, and that means we all have ADHD, dude. No, but for real though, because here's my thing. This is what I found out about reading, and this is why I'm actually getting like way more into reading. It's like I used to read to say I read a book. And it's like, no, then you're just going to find shit that's supposed to be smart. And if you read this, you're a smart guy. Yeah. And you're going to be reading something that you don't give a fuck about. And you're not going to be paying attention. You're going to get 4 fucking pages in and you don't know what the fuck happened.
Right.
Now I got some of my schizophrenic books. I got a book on Vietnam I'm really into right now. And I'm reading that shit. And dude, bro, did you know Ho Chi Minh lived in a cave before? Bro, Ho Chi Minh, before he took over Vietnam and snatched it away from those awful French pedos, dude was fucking planning this shit in a cave. It was crazy.
Wow.
And that's all because I care about Vietnam.
I thought it was a city, but that's crazy. That's a person too.
You thought Ho Chi Minh was just a city?
Yeah, I didn't know where they got the name, but now I know.
Ho Chi Minh is actually Vietnamese for really cool city.
Really neat dude. Cave dude.
But no, that's what I realized about like reading and shit. It's like I would
learn.
Well, no,
reading is fundamental.
Well, no, I used to be like, well, learning's actually gay.
Yeah,
I just want people to know I'm smarter than them, and that's just a recipe for destruction.
Now I'm actually so you see people can watch you read it, and
I'd be doing shit. I'd be like, people just need to, because that's all I was worried about. I was just worried about people knowing that I'm the fucking man. Now I'm transitioning into giving a fuck about that. Like, dude, I'm watching old westerns, being like, wait a minute. You don't have to interact with anyone? That sounds fucking amazing.
Wait, what's this? What's this Lone Ranger all about?
Dude, no bullshit. I was like drunk watching There Will Be Blood last night, just watching Daniel Day-Lewis dig out a fucking the shit for oil just all by himself, and I go, damn, that must be peaceful.
Right? Yeah, like it's one of those things. I'm like, that's gotta be fulfilling work. Fill the bucket, empty the bucket. Fill the bucket, empty the bucket. Fill the bucket, empty. Everybody thinks that. Like I look, man. This was
for you. That bucket will become. So after a certain point,
right? I'm like, I've got 2 buckets in me. That's all I can do today, boss.
Dobbs just like, Pat, you have to go to work. You're like, not now. I'm digging for oil.
Fill the bucket. Fill the bucket. Lift your shirt.
Sorry, dude. It was lift your shirt.
I'm over there. No, I think there's like a weird thing with like
then she goes from sexy face to like ha ha ha.
I think there's like a weird core. I do the same way you're doing that with books is the same way I used to like justify like jobs that I wanted. Anytime I would go, like I went to most kitchens and like I have kitchen experience. And instead of like being like, hey, let me really sell myself on this, I'm like, hey,
how many empanadas do I get to eat during a shift?
Throw me in the dish pit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's I like inbox, outbox, dirty dishes, clean dishes, dirty dishes, clean dishes. And everybody goes like, oh, you work in the dish pit. Oh man. Oh. And it's always like, I could feel the judgment, but it's like, dude, I love it.
Dude.
Because it's so mindless and fulfilling just to be like, dirty dishes are clean now. Dirty dishes, clean. It's just that simple. Put them there.
Bro, one
That
of my
stack,
f-
that
one,
stack, that stack. You know, like it's so simple.
no, it is honestly, there is something very satisfying of being like, oh, is that a big pile? I'm about to make that a small pile.
Give me my
There's
apron.
dude, I remember one time when I was working in a kitchen, they were like a bunch of people called out, so they called me in a panic being like, Andy, we really need help. And I'm like, well, I'm crushing margaritas with my boys. So, and they're like, just come in. So,
Yeah.
dude, I'm still a little like margarita drunk. Someone drove me.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. No, I get there. I'm still a little drunk and I'm just fucking, dude, I got my, bro, you give me a repetitive task and my tunes.
Oh my god, dude! Unearth. You can be Unearth
Oh,
on a boombox, and then I'm just yelling at servers, just going like, "Fuck yeah!" Like, I was probably every stereotypical character in like comic relief character in a kitchen movie or
dude.
something like that. I was just like, it's unironically, I don't give a shit. I fuck you, losers. You guys have the dumbest book. We get paid the same, you idiots. Like
There's
I don't have
actually,
to do
dude,
anything. I can curse. I can do anything I want back here.
bro. Dude, washing dishes is low key goated because you're literally there just being like, big pile to a small
Boom,
pile,
boom,
big pile.
boom,
Now it's a small pile.
boom.
All right, my hands are getting a little pruny. Let me do a round.
Time to go smoke a cigarette. Yeah, you know what I mean, like or something like that.
I'm gonna go bother people.
Yeah, I'm gonna go fuck with the line. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
like
You be
fill
like,
up the line, touch everybody's butts.
You walk by the hostess, not 18 yet. See ya later.
See you later. Hey, Jessica, how's school? Anyway,
How's
gotta
school?
go. Bye.
Done with it? Still in it? Later, bitch.
By the way, I was like 17, 18 at the time, but I dropped out of school. Okay.
Yeah, but you were
Anyway.
only talking to the children in high seats
Yeah.
with the customers.
Amber, how's it going? Goo goo? Gaga? Got it. All right.
Where we at? Goo goo gaga?
Let me know when you're walking, okay?
Ew.
Hey, you brought it
Ew.
in. But
All
no,
right, we got one more topic, but I have
dishwashing's
to.
great. They don't do background checks.
Yes, dude, I'm a felon or soon to be. All right, I have to crush a piss so hard,
Okay.
but I really want to talk about Anthony Fantano with
Fantano.
you. Can
Got it.
you man the fucking battle station?
Yeah, hey guys. Anyway, my other favorite thing about dishwashing, I actually used to wash dishes in a retirement community, an ALF, assisted living facility, but it was a high-end one in Seminole, Florida. And I worked there with a bunch, again, like the dynamic that Andy is talking about. There's tons of teenagers because in Florida you could work there. I guess it was like 16. I don't know what it is in most other states, but so there's a lot of high school kids that would come in after school for like the dinner time. There was a dining room, which was free for all the residents, and they could have their family come over and make it feel like they're going out to like a nice restaurant. And usually they'd serve higher end food. Didn't really seem like it, but that was peak dishwashing time. Anytime you go out there, it's exactly what Andy said. Fuck around with the servers, joke with them, make them laugh or whatever. Go mess around with the line people, help them out a little bit, grab some food from the line, which is always great, or smoke a cigarette in between. Come back to a big pile of dishes, fucking whack those things out. It's so satisfying. But he was talking about a story about getting called into work when he was slightly drunk, and I remember specifically, wasn't work necessarily, but there was open mic, a music open mic that one of the bands that I was in back in Florida, we used to bring all of our equipment into this pizza shop in Fortunato's in downtown St. Pete, and we'd set up the drums, the bass, guitar. We'd open the set.
Shut up.
We would
No,
open.
sorry, what are you talking about?
So you told a funny story about getting called into work drunk, and I was telling a story about one time. So I think it was me and the guitar player in our band. We used to run this open mic. I've talked about it before. We get paid in pizza and beer, and we would bring our music equipment. We'd play the first set, and then basically would fill in for anybody that wanted to use. Like if they needed a bass player, I'd play with them. If they wanted a drummer, they could, stuff like that. We would just fill in. And but I remember I think it was like a Friday night, me and the guitar player from that band were bowling, and we were we were hanging out drinking or something like that. And and Fortunato's, or somebody that that was a regular there, had a show there that night, and they're like, "Hey, can you come down? Do you want to open a set? And also, I'll need a band for my." He was just a singer, so we would always play music behind him, and he would just sing. So actually, much like Idols, he would just kind of come up with lyrics on the fly. He would jam.
Oh, that's really
lyrics.
cool.
It was actually, I have a song recorded that I really love that we did. That was basically a live version of that. But he was like, "Hey, can you guys come down here?" And we're like, I'm like, we're kind of fucking drunk right now.
I'm ripped.
That's what it was. We were at Fortunato's drinking, and he's like, "Hey, we're setting up. Do you want to play?" And we're like, we're fucked up already. And D's not here. He's like, "Don't." I swear to God, dude, it was like a
who's
movie.
D's?
No, well, that would be. By the way, that joke not being a joke when I knew somebody named Big D was such a missed opportunity. I want to refriend him, but I don't know where he lives now. Just so I can utilize that. But he, much like a movie, much like we were just talking about, just being stereotypical movie, at the exact time we're saying, "Yeah, but D's not here," and boom, he kicks in the door. He had been chugging pitchers bowling that night. He is fucking wasted. So all of us are fucking hammered drunk, and we're just like, okay. I mean, like, it was just like one of those things. This is going to be terrible. We didn't rehearse anything. We don't know what you want us to play. So he's just like, just play. And it was one of the funnest fucking nights. I don't remember any of it. I don't have a recording of it. I don't know if it was
awesome.
good or anything, but it was a packed fucking house. We were hammered drunk, and it was definitely music and beer. I got to tell you, Andy, it's one of the best things. Best
Yeah. That sounds fucking sick, actually.
It was one of the, it was a one.
To be honest,
but you were talking about a Fantano.
Yeah, Anthony Fantano being just a general goofball.
Oh wow, I was talking about working at a retirement community in the kitchen, and we got somebody that's working there at a retirement home as a cook now.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Anthony Fantano just being a silly little goose. And I want to be on record.
Okay.
I like Anthony Fantano. I think the gentleman is I think he's very smart. I think sometimes and I see music critics do this a lot where, like, I don't know what it is exactly. I've experienced it. I'm sure you've experienced it. You sometimes just the way certain people talk about a band. Like, remember before I was saying, like, why are we even talking about the Beatles? Like, if someone comes up to you and go, "You know, the Beatles are fucking great," you're like, why are we having a conversation? This has been so well established. Yes, they're a very good band and like all this other shit, but it's just like, why the fuck are we even talking about them anymore? Like, I was making that joke one time, like, or there's some of these bands that are like, okay, but you hear people like jerking them off so hard that you just get annoyed to a point where, you know, you kind of abandon, you know, or you kind of loosen up your, what am I trying to say? You kind of loosen up your requirements that you put on yourself, and you're just
you let your guard down, essentially.
Yes, you let your guard, and we all have that tendency. But you know, as you know, esteemed critics of these musical genres, it is our job to keep it locked in.
We grew up then. We know what we're talking about, okay?
Wait, say that again?
I said we grew up then. We know what we're talking about, okay?
Yes. And so that's kind of like my thing with Anthony Fantano. While I think he knows a lot of shit, and I think generally speaking he has pretty good taste. I think the whims of whatever the current vibe is, or whatever team he's playing ball for, or whatever the fuck, not sexually, politically, you know, shit like that kind of.
What did he do?
He fucked your mom, Pat.
Oh my God.
No, I think Anthony Fantano's problem is he doesn't. I think he lets some of that shit kind of push him a little more than he should. He doesn't keep it as locked in as he should. But I think when the dude's cooking, because I used to get, I remember we talked about before, I realized like I was doing it to him, where I was just like, I was ignoring the things he was saying because of what his face looked like. And and then I kind of like I let my guard down on that one time. I was watching that Channel 5 news dude.
Yeah.
He was talking about some music festival in Chicago, and then he was interviewing Anthony Fantano about it, and Fantano was kind of going talking about music, and I kind of like let my guard down to like, you know, not be biased. I was like, all right, this guy knows shit.
Yeah.
But he kind of like, you know, he gets a little goofy sometimes. And the topic I wanted to bring up is a current moment of him being a little bit goofy. I think I texted you this and we talked about it, but this is Anthony Fantano's latest take, is talking about Kanye, who just dropped a new album, which outstanding cover art. That woman you married because you're not over Kim Kardashian is lovely to look at, Kanye. So great album art, but he kind of, you know, because he's the man who reviews everything, he brings this up and he just basically flat out goes, it's unreviewable, which to that, you see, I comment, I go, not a serious person. I just realized that's what I said about him. But yeah, so this was the kind of thing, and for people who didn't see the review, basically what he was doing was just with all the outrageous shit Kanye's been doing the past couple years, all the over the top shit he's been saying. Now, you know, people really want to come at him about being anti-Semitic, but he did say he watched 21 Jump Street and Jonah Hill took all the anti-Semitism out of him. So I think you guys are being unreasonable to Kanye.
I think people are forgetting that because of the fact that
he said it's gone. He said he's not anti-Semitic anymore.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand like what they didn't understand the Jonah Hill part, the 21 Jump Street part. Or, like I don't know if like
did you guys not see 21 Jump Street?
It's pretty clear it's over. So other than that, why would it be unreviewable? And also, why would you post a review about it if it's unreviewable?
So that's the thing. I was go, what the fuck's this guy getting at? So I watched the thing, and you guys can go watch it to see if I'm fibbing or not, but it basically surmounted to him being like, well, he said all that bad stuff and he's just such a nasty guy that like I couldn't possibly. And dude, he spent a lot of time talking about how like his trolls were coming at him and stuff, and I'm just like, I mean, first day on the internet, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, he was basically just being like, Kanye's such a bad guy and this and that. And so that was a funny thing to throw out. And I actually found a clip. So at that idea of Kanye where he's talking about Hitler and anti-Semitism and saying all these bad things, I actually found a dude online who gives a very interesting perspective to an artist like doing stuff like that and whether you can review him or not. So let's listen to this. Let's listen to this guy's perspective on that particular topic.
Now, I don't give a shit if he burned down some churches. I don't care if he murdered a guy. I really don't care if he's racist. If he comes out with an album in the future that I find interesting, I will welcome it with open arms.
Wow, way to not be what is it called? Consistent. I think that's a little inconsistent. I think maybe.
Yeah, and this is why. Now, obviously, you could pull up old clips of us making us look stupid, but I mean, we're consistently fucking stupid.
In the show, this like if you just hit the fucking back 15 minutes or 15 seconds button, you'll probably find something pretty good, very juicy pick.
But here's the thing: we're consistently pretty fucking dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a lot of times. This is what and also people change, things happen like that. But when you make specifically those distinctions, and then also, even if it is just for that one band, but like, you can't say like, I'm not going to do this. And then all of a sudden you have to know, you have to know that you've said something directly contradicting what you're saying at this current moment to say like, I can't do this because he was racist and also he burnt down a church and also it's like wait but you said that it doesn't matter. Wait, with anybody or just this particular artist can do it?
Wait, but you're saying the guy you're describing who's literally worse than Kanye he's reviewable?
Yeah, I don't care.
And that's why
and not only saying I will review it, I will welcome it with open arms.
I'll review it so fucking hard, you pussies.
It's not even saying like, oh, I'll listen, I'll give it a shot, or you know what, I'll hear him out, or anything like that. Which I would understand to say like, well, Kanye West did say all that shit, but he did kind of backtrack on a lot of it because of the Jonah Hill thing. So I'll give this consideration, but not to say like, as it's unreviewable. But the other one is welcomed with quote open arms end quote.
Well, yeah. So, and that's why I look at that and I just go, because a lot of people will try to be like, well, you know, it's funny. This gets brought up a lot of times when they'll tell you that like Hillary Clinton and Obama were anti-gay marriage on like the first run, and then by the second run they were like, bro, gays fucking rule. And you're like, well, he evolved, and you go, did he, or did it just become popular?
He was,
you know,
he was given some numbers, and he's like, I guess I support gay marriage now.
Yeah, dude, that's what happened. He's like,
honey, we support gay marriage now.
I just looked at the polling and I found out I support gay marriage.
Only for
it. But no, and it's like, so a lot of people try to go, because that's the easy cop out. They're like, well, you know, he kind of developed and adjusted over time, which is fair. Like, once again, if you watched old clips of me, I've definitely have, but this is literally like, this is literally so much of a change that I'm like, I think the dude is getting swept up in his fucking politics and like what's trendy and the spaces that he decides to exist in. Kanye is a no bad guy, because that's what I think a lot of times people who maneuver like him do. They go with the ending and they go, everyone's saying Kanye's a no bad guy, so I have to fill in the middle. I have to fill in the middle on why Kanye's a no bad guy. And that's what he's doing right now. That's why he's becoming inconsistent.
I feel like this is
contradictory. Go ahead.
I think it's more so. If I will give this person a little bit of credit, and only a very little bit of credit, just because I feel like they are, I guess what it is kind of like, I think what's happening is it's more of the fans and like kind of fans' reactions, because we see their like how much they react when you tweet somebody that they don't like, and how willing they are to turn on you, and how much it could fuck up somebody like him, maybe on his YouTube channel, the monetization or something like that. If he, but that's the point, is like, so that's why I'll say like, okay, maybe at one point he does have that actual review, and that maybe that first clip is really how he does feel, and it is genuinely him. But now this means that he's saying he's bringing up the Kanye album so he gets the clicks and the reviews, but only so he can let all the fans know, I don't like this man. He's no good. He's a bad boy. Yeah. So you get the clips, you get everything else. So to me, morally, I feel like it's a little bit lacking, and I feel like he is somebody who is, he's compromising his personal beliefs to justify or to satiate the fans. He's somebody that is, and that's something like we may sound stupid as fuck, but it's because we are. And the reason that our opinions may change over time, it's because we are becoming truly educated in this, and we're understanding it more from other perspectives. Whereas somebody like him from the very get-go is like, I don't care. I'm so educated and I'm so above all of you that I will be able to look past any kind of hate crime or whatever may be connected to this artist, and be able to give a honest and just review to anything, no matter what. And then all of a sudden, well, this is a popular artist that if you even mention their name in any kind of good way, you will be taken down a peg or two, especially your audience. You know what I mean? Yeah. He is built this audience, but the audience over time, the mood has shifted so much. So now that if you bring this up at all and you don't denounce it in every single way, but he still wants the clicks. He still wants to, he still listened to it.
So, 100%.
You know what I mean?
He probably enjoyed the fuck out of it, because I listened to a little bit
or even liked it. He may have even just liked it. And he can't even just say it's a pretty good album. You know what I'm saying? Well, he can't even just be honest. And it sucks that he can't be honest.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I listened to some of it. It's good. So if you're like, if because that's the other part. That's the other thing people do. Like they did it when actually, let me say this real quick, because I know I don't want to just, we're making jokes. Like I don't, obviously me and Pat come off as like fucking fucking half retarded dock workers. But like, all jokes aside,
Or
I
dishwashers.
don't what
Or dishwashers.
or drunk dishwashers full of margaritas.
Some of the best dishwashers you'll ever fucking see, motherfucker.
Dude, that's why we're so locked in, because both of us, just without consulting each other, we're like, dude, wouldn't it be sick to be a dishwasher?
Dude, how awesome would it be to make a living being a dishwasher? It would be the greatest job in the world. Like if you can get $19 an hour working as a fucking barista, why can't I get at least 18 dishes?
Bro, if I could pay all the bills washing dishes, god
Yeah,
damn it, dude.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll do this still every once in a while, but really, the drive to make this a thing is gone.
If I have a shift,
Yeah.
I'm not doing the pot. Because I'm going to do my passion of washing dishes. No, all jokes aside, because I don't want to be like, oh, we're dumb as like a cop out for, any responsibility we have, like based off our words. But like, all jokes aside, I think you and me, we got a good head on our shoulders. But like, more so than even that is there's like this, it's the lack of consistency. So you can change your opinion, but still have this like consistency to it where it like you know the progression. The same way as like, I don't know, I was joking about fucking oh yeah, look at on all the fucking Facebook marketplace. Everyone's trying to sell Pokemon cards. So that's why I have Pokemon cards in the brain. But like the way a Pokemon evolves. A Charizard is much different than Charmeleon or whatever, but it's like it's a logical progression. Yeah, fuck, you can laugh at me. That was stupid.
No, I like that. I like it.
No.
You're making it simple in my head.
Yeah. But no, for real though, it's like you can have a shift in your opinion, but there's still this like logical progression where you're still like a consistent person. This just feels like I don't know. It feels like he's trying to satisfy. Well, you were saying too, like the people in his comments. I guarantee you, the dude is actually getting torched in his comments. I'm gonna pull him up, but he's becoming subservient to this idea in his head of what needs to be. To be the like well-behaving person right now.
You know what this says to me, really, and I don't mean this. I really truly don't mean this as just a criticism. I mean this as an actual observation. I feel like this is a lack of confidence, because like if you don't think that your opinion should matter, you know what I'm saying? Like your opinion obviously matters. People listen and subscribe to your channel and shit like that because they want your point of view. But if you're sitting there going like, this is crazy. This artist is so offensive. The fact that you brought it up, like I'm sure that your fans would appreciate it, because if they do agree with you, if you just not brought it up or just go like, I'm not really reviewing the Kanye album, but if you guys want or something like that, maybe if you guys are dying for it or something like that, just let me know. But I'm not. I really don't feel like I should give that dude any.
Yeah,
then there you go. Then I respect you because you're saying you're not. Don't put it in the title. Don't put it in the description. Do whatever and just say I'm not doing it.
He's basically going like it's like if I went to you like, Pat, since I'm such a good person, I'd never tell you to your face how fucking ugly you are.
Right.
I would never do that.
Right.
Because I'm such a good person. That's kind of like what he's doing. It's like, well, no, you're kind of doing it by saying by going out there and saying you're not going to do it.
What he's doing with this instead, by having the album artwork up there, and the thumbnail, all this other shit, he's like saying, I am just so offended by Kanye. I'm not reviewing this album. You guys hear that? I am not reviewing this album, and he's holding it up.
That I have the picture.
I have the vinyl. It is open. Yeah, I'm not listening to this. Okay.
Well,
I bought it. I just bought this so I could throw it away.
And the other reason, by the way, I say he's not expressing himself in an honest way. It feels like he's more expressing himself in a way that'll satisfy whatever ideology in his head he feels like satisfying. Because like I said, I'm reading the comments. They're fucking making fun of him. Because the one dude goes, if this was called To Pimp a Vulture, you would have given it a 10, like referencing To Pimp a Butterfly. If it was called Whole Lot of Vulture, you'd give it a 10, referencing Whole Lot of Red by Trippie Redd. They're making fun of him in the comments. So he's trying to satisfy some idea of some group of people in his head. But no, the part that leads me to thinking that is specifically the labeling and how he describes it. He goes, this is unreviewable. And to that I say, respectfully, grow the fuck up. What are you talking about? Like it is. Like, okay, yes, Kanye said a bunch of nasty things. So here's what you do. You go in your video and you go, well, I just to make
Grain of
if
salt.
it matters so much to you, you go in your video and you go, just to make it clear, I think
Yeah.
Kanye's a super duper bad man. And then like, because here's why it's relevant, because it's the biggest album right now. It might not be in a week or two, but like right now, it's a very big album.
Yeah.
Kanye's a culturally relevant person. You're talking about culturally relevant music and this and that. So it's worth talking about, and you can still shit on him because that's the context to you, and that's your opinion. But to me, like, just saying this is unreviewable, that's why I said in the tweet, like, you're not being a serious person. It's like, to me, I just want to go respectfully, grow the fuck up. You're acting like a fucking baby.
Yeah. I think no matter what though, it's just very much somebody who is trying to still benefit from the name and the success or
I agree.
popularity of it. And by also doing it in the safest gayest way possible. Like I couldn't think of a better word. It's just like you just being like this, guys, this is unacceptable. It's like one of those things of it's just so stupid. And I don't mean to like I don't mean it to say like I'm not trying to just mock him in general, but this thing where you do this thing where you're bringing up a topic. This is the exact embodiment of calling somebody to tell them you're not talking to them. And it's so stupid and it's so childish and it's so it's just lame. It really is just lame just to be like just to say like and to say unreviewable. Like then why are you talking about it on your review show? You know what I mean? Like why are you saying I can't review this because it's so unreviewable? And you have, again, like I said, the album art and the thumb, you know exactly what you're doing. We've tried it in the past. You know what I'm saying?
We suck, dude.
We fucking suck. And it's one of those things that, but like, it wasn't just to say, we're not going to give you a review of this. We're not giving you the name and we didn't talk about it. Or we talked about it in another way or something like that, where it's talking about a topic just to get the clicks, but then saying like, well, but that guy, not okay. I don't like him. It's like, okay, then you could have just said like in the title, I'm not reviewing this album. I'm not going to review the Kanye album. And then you'll still get some clicks or something like that. But I don't know. Putting the cover art, he knew exactly. And I think this was absolutely premeditated, you know. Not premeditated, but like this is a scheme to me.
Sure. There's a strong possibility. The other thing I was gonna say, I just remembered it, where it also annoys me. A lot of people do this when they talk about something that, this goes back to me just being like, guys, if you're gonna be in this if you're gonna be in this space, you gotta just grow the fuck up, because a lot of people love to do this when a person that they deem is a bad man puts out good art, they go, it's not even that good. And like I listened to some
They did it with Louis.
That's what I was gonna bring up. They were doing it. People would be like, dude, what Louis did was really bad.
Fuck you.
Also, it's like, dude, don't shit on his art. What he did was great.
Like he's always been a
no.
It's like,
joke?
Fuck you. You used to call him a genius, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's all those motherfucking. It's to me. I don't know if it's all of them. I don't need to just. But it's a lot of West Coast comics, from what I heard. A lot of them, ones where I'm like, I swear to God, if you listen to old episodes of their podcast or something like that, they're talking about how genius Louis C.K. is and how he's the greatest. He was the greatest comic in the world to them.
Yeah.
And then next week, he's like, he's such a hateful bigot, and he's talking. And then when they had the footage or the audio of him recorded without him and released and all this shit, and they're like, oh, he's just talking about right wing shit. It's like, no, he's doing comedy. That's Louis C.K. It's the same fucking Louis C.K. What are you talking about?
Well, the Louis thing was funny.
Changes so much like that.
The Louis thing was funny too, because there was like a few comics who he gave a fucking career to that was like, oh, I'll throw him under the bus immediately. It's like, I get it. You don't have to approve of it. You don't have to approve of how awesome he is, but no, all jokes aside, for real though, it's like, I don't know, man, if the dude gives you or reinvigorates your career, like, maybe you just sit this out.
Yeah.
Maybe you just take a pass. But no, that's the shit that fucking irritates me. Like they did it with Louis. They did it with Louis. Like he's doing it with Kanye, and you're like, dude, really? Even the worst Kanye album's still a fun, interesting experience. Like it's like grow the. I've said it so many times. Like everyone, like I do a joke about it in my stand up where I talk about R. Kelly. Where I'm like watching this R. Kelly interview, and based off what he says, it'll determine if I can listen to his music or not. Like I just like say that for the joke. Like in actuality, it's like guys, who it's too complicated. Just enjoy the shit and then be like, oh, but that guy's bad. Because it's like, like with R. Kelly, it's such a emotional relationship you have to the music, especially with a lot of people's like childhood and shit like that. And it's like you didn't listen to the music going like, dude, I love this song and him raping kids. You know what I mean? I love both. The reason I like the music is because he peed on so many kids. Now, it's like, no, you didn't do that. So like you're not in trouble. Just fuck. So yeah, this fucking thing of like, actually it's not even that good. It's just like, dude, you're not being a serious person, and I can't respect you as much.
Yeah. So it's one of those. Yeah. It's a very. This is a clear cut sign of being a piece of shit. Honestly, just kind of just being like, just going like, hey, well, I don't want to ruffle any feathers, and then in turn ruffling all of everyone's feathers. Everyone's feathers. Like, why are you promoting this at all? I'm not. I said I didn't want to. And like, it's like. You ended up fucking up and offending or pissing off both sides somehow. Yeah. So great job, Dum. Right, hey, it's a bonehead mistake. You know what I mean? Like you said, he's only human. It's dumb. You should have just shut up about it.
He's being. I also too. I want to make it clear, like on the rare chance he actually watches this, I think you seem chill when you're not. When you're not being guided by whatever ideology grabbed the reins up there. You know what I mean? Like when you're just vibing out back in the day on church burning racist albums.
Yeah.
You seem pretty chill.
There's a weird character, and everybody kind of has like, there's a persona to people, and there's kind of like this like overall, I talk about it all the time. There's like Colby Covington has his shtick where he's like, he has a character that he is always working on, that he is very, very adamant about keeping, steady with. Ian Gary to me is like the white guy or the white knight version of Colby Covington, because just recently he's the guy that we talked about him in the past. He's the guy that has his ex-wife's or his wife's ex-husband's last name hyphenated as his name and all this other stuff. He fought this weekend, and during the press conference, somebody said the media asked him, his thoughts about some of the things that some other fighters have said. And he's like, Sean Strickland, he's like, he called my wife a pedophile, and no woman should be called that. And I'm like, what a fucking stupid ass white knight thing to say. No woman should ever be called a pedophile. Yeah. What about pedophile women?
Yeah, that's like
what about women that are pedophiles, you dumbass? He's just like, you should never say that about a lady.
No,
like,
people.
I literally call my wife a pedophile all the time.
Well, that goes back to like calling the Kanye album shitty, where it's like you're just saying things that don't make sense because your ideology's taking the reins. That's like why,
like every corner he is in, it has to be this exact. Like I'm exactly this 100%.
And to keep it on the women topic, the other one they say is like, stop hitting me. And you're like, shut up.
You started it by making a terrible dinner.
How about shut up?
Take that, Ian Gary, you piece of shit.
Fucking pussy.
Like,
no.
Especially if it's a joke. He was the guy that famously went over the edge with Neil Magny because he said, I'm going to beat him like a redheaded stepchild. And he's like, you should never joke about child abuse. He's like, what?
Shut up, dork.
And Neil Magny was like, wait, is he serious? Like, I thought he's like kind of laughing, like, oh, he's joking about. Oh, he's not. He's mad about that.
Bro, are you gay? Are you gay?
What's going on?
Dude, if you're gay, I'll stop.
Hey, are you dumb as fucking shit?
Hey, dude, between you and me, are you a stupid fucking idiot?
Hey, like that's what they're saying in the face off. Like, hey, cut me straight here, man. Are you fucking dumb as shit? Seriously, are you the dumbest
Ian,
motherfucker alive?
Ian,
Be honest.
be real.
We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight either way. But be honest with me. Are you stupid as fuck?
Ian, bro, I'll stop. Just
I
let me
won't tell
know.
I'm not gonna tell
Are you
you.
stupid as shit?
Even if you win or lose, I'm not gonna tell nobody. Are you stupid as fuck? What's your IQ?
This is you and me right now, dude.
I'm not that smart. I'm not that smart. I'm not even saying I'm smarter, not even dumber than me. Are you dumb? Because I'm dumb, right? Like
the one the one I was gonna say is when Me Too was popping off and they were like, believe all women, and you're like, no, and they're like, why would a woman lie about stuff like that? And you're like, I don't know. Ask the ones that have lied.
Yeah.
Because it's
Didn't it happen at Duke University?
Yes, it's happened so many times. Now
He did, and then they were lying.
Like, I don't know what you want. Like, they've just done it before. And it's kind of a big deal. So you gotta like double check before you just believe them.
Everybody lies. Everybody's an asshole. Like everybody's capable of those things. Every single person is capable. So he's just like, you call my wife a pedophile. It's like, yeah, like because
did she fuck a kid?
Yeah. Well, I think he's like 26.
Oh,
something like that. He's a young, dumb, full of cum kind of guy.
Yeah, I haven't seen footage of him, but the way you describe him, he just seems dumb.
But he is a great fighter.
Okay, yeah.
Excellent fighter. He won. So whatever.
He's full of rage because he's living with his wife's ex-husband.
It's so crazy how many people are booing him. Dude, people hate. Dude, oh, that was the other thing. Just like final thought.
Yeah,
and this is connected. So MMA talk real quick. Sean O'Malley was also in the crowd too. Such a fucking fascinating turn of events, Andy. This is crazy because
tell me about it, Pat.
Cheeto Vera has a very strong fan base. I am part of it. I love Cheeto Vera. I also like Sugar Sean O'Malley. Cool enough guy, but whatever.
I do too. He seems like a fun little wild card.
So him, right?
Sugar Sean?
Since that news, since the news of both him and also Ian Gary kind of being a little bit cucks or like sharing their ladies and all this other shit, they showed him on the screen last night and they fucking booed him. Dude.
Sean?
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, the cuck thing is a no-go in MMA world, apparently. They are not cool with, like, Ian Gary, as when he was coming out, they were booing him like crazy, and he fucking slapped a big old kiss on his wife's lips, probably tasted the ex-husband, and then they got in the ring, and then he was just going, fucking, oh, yeah, boo all you want. Yeah, and he's just like, and even when he won, they booed like crazy. They do not like him. They showed Sugar Sean O'Malley, and they fucking booed that motherfucker too. And that is one of the first times I've ever heard him get booed. Because white MMA fans love that motherfucker, and there's a lot of white MMA fans. Yeah, so it was crazy.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
these dudes obsessed with
Antonio's Team Cheeto, just like me. Hell yeah. Wait,
it's ironic to be obsessed with other dudes like that and be like, we also don't like cucks.
It's so crazy. It's like, because like to me, it was like,
right, guys, like glass houses, maybe glass houses.
Look, I mean, like, who hasn't Googled it?
Just saying, a couple of you guys have a dude's name on your shirt.
I think all the people booing are people that are scared. Like you think about it, because Ian Gary's this thing of like, whatever, I'm in here, you're all watching me. It's all this weird thing where he's just like, no, you're not over it yet. It's not. This isn't over. This is going to continue, and it's crazy how rabid they are against like sharing your lady. I don't know what about it, but they're all. I just can't wait for them to be like, you're just scared because you want to do it, and you wish you could watch somebody fuck your wife. You're like, wait, what? Like, no.
There needs to be. Well, I don't know. Well, it's awkward when like Adam 22 does it because I don't believe him. I think the dude I think he was like, I'll be okay if
he's like, it's only fair. He's like, it's only fair.
I'll be okay if my wife sucks this 12-inch black dick.
That'd be great.
I will be so fucking okay with that. And then he saw it. I go, I didn't like that. Wow, who would have guessed?
Most of us are at the point now where we could go like, it goes as far as this. It goes as far as us going like, yeah, well, maybe I could. Nope. I'm really sad. Just thinking about it. I don't want to even think about it. I don't even need to. And you're crying.
Well, I don't even need to think about it. Just like, no, like That would be super lame if you
Terrible.
fucked another dude.
So, I don't
no,
know
and-
what
and-
it is about it that makes
Oh,
them
wait. Sorry. Just the second part of that
Okay.
was like, the reason the Adam 22 shit is uncomfortable to me because it's like I think the dude just fucking guessed wrong and now he's doubling down. But I don't know, man. I think with some of these guys, it's like you almost gotta just fucking stonewall them and just go, yeah, I don't know. I like when dudes fuck my wife. What are you gonna do about it? And then people are gonna be like, well, fuck, okay, you can beat me up. You're cool, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what Ian Gary's kind of trying to do, but I think it doesn't come off as confident as you're saying. But he did. He won the fight. Not in a great way. It was but still he won. He won.
I think I told you about it last week. My brain's just in this headspace because it's like I still get bullshit from people being like, oh, you like jacked ladies, and it's like I used to be like, no, dude, you don't get it, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care.
Yeah,
Yes,
you gotta
whatever.
accept. Be
okay,
you.
whatever. It makes you feel weird. I fucking love it, dude. I'm not gonna sit down and dissect it and figure out exactly why, but I fucking love it. And I know if they have if they had a rockin' six pack and a cock, that part would suck. I know that part would suck. So
no,
whatever, dude.
I'd suck that part. I mean, that part would suck.
Wait, what did I say?
Wait, what did I say? No,
Yeah,
I think
I'm literally done defending loving muscle mommies because it takes me away from fucking loving them.
Dude, you never deny who you are. Just be who you are and accept it. You gotta be you no matter what. But if
unless you're a pedophile wood chipper.
I think that's the perfect way to end the show.
Hell yeah, wood chipper for pedophiles, guys. Everyone, all the people, not just Tonye. Everyone.
Yeah, every single one of you.
Nah, and Destroy a Boy. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you all next fucking time. I love you all. Have a good one. Be about a peace.
God bless.
God bless.